104.5 FM and 1440 AM WHAR. This is Clay Batelle High CB's football. Tonight's game is sponsored in part by Advanced HVAC and Plumbing, keeping your home cozy year-round. Morgantown's residential HVAC and plumbing leader for over 20 years. Online at advancedheatingandcooling.info. By HealthWorks Rehab and Fitness, West Virginia's choice for physical therapy for over 45 years. When your body hurts, go to HealthWorks. Find a location near you. Go to healthworksrf.com. By Lang Monument, family-owned and celebrating families since 1874. Located in the Wharf District, Morgantown, and online at langmonument.com. By DPS Land Services, your partner in land management and acquisition, leasing, mineral buying, due diligence, and more. Our expert team makes complex land deals simple. Visit dpslandservices.com. By Vision Homes, building custom homes for area families for over 30 years. Visit askvisionhomes.com and see how easy it is to build a house you're proud to call home. By Patton Building Services. From janitorial to general building maintenance, Patton Building Services believes clean environments build better business. We don't just maintain buildings, we maintain communities. Online at pattonbuildingservices.com. And by Saving Grace Septic and Rentals, providing clean, reliable, portable toilets for every event. And when septic systems need service, we're your first call. We're local, we care, and we're there when you need to go. 304-282-7210.
And good afternoon. It is a beautiful day for football in Blacksville, West Virginia, as a Class A clash of two Titans are going down in Blacksville. I'm Johnathan Edwards, joined in place of Ethan Collins today, joined by Chance Collins, my color commentator. He's going to be your CB's expert today. But again, Sherman coming in at 6-1, ranked number 3 in Class A. Clay Batelle, on the other hand, number 6. But both teams at 6-1, and both pose great opportunities today in Blacksville. Chance, good to be with you. Happy to be filling in today.
And happy to be here. You couldn't have a more perfect day coming here in Blacksville. I mean, it is nice. It is perfect weather. Has that playoff feel being Saturday at 1. I think we're gonna enjoy ourselves today.
Oh man, I know. What a day for this to be my first time out here. It's packed on a Saturday afternoon for 1 o'clock kickoff. We're just under 10 minutes away. And again, this game has huge playoff implications at the Class A level, and it couldn't have a bigger feel. It has that big fight feel to it over in Blacksville. Clay Batelle playing host to Sherman. Again, both teams 6-1. Clay Batelle has not lost since week 1, that 22-16 loss to Cameron. And Sherman only has one blemish, that being that 51-16 blowout loss to Tug Valley in week 2. So both these teams coming in, it's a bit of a battle of streaks. You have the first ever meeting, I should mention, between Sherman and Clay Batelle. 6 straight wins for Clay Batelle, 5 for Sherman. Someone's going to lose today. But again, huge playoff implications. But we talk about that perfect atmosphere. Not only do you have a full crowd, but you also have perfect weather. And again, that pregame weather forecast update is brought to you by Advanced HVAC and Plumbing. Your pregame weather conditions are as followed: 52 degrees, barely any wind, a 10% chance of rain, but again, that perfect playoff feeling. Again, that's brought to you by Advanced HVAC and Plumbing, keeping your home cozy year-round. Morgantown's residential HVAC and plumbing leader for over 20 years. Online at advancedheatingandcooling.info. So, Chance, let's talk about this before we get into starting lineups. We'll go ahead and get to these. Before we get to the keys to the game, actually, how do you think the rankings have panned out in the pregame? Do you think these are fair rankings, or what? What's your opinion? You have the more CB-friendly take on these. I want to hear your opinion.
I mean, I know you showed me a stat. Pretty well their records are almost the exact same versus the opponents that they faced. I do feel like the CBs played Cameron really, really tough. Then you take that and you follow it up with when they played their one really good team in Tug Valley, they got blown out pretty substantially. Sometimes I always get a little bit confused by them rankings in the WBSSAC, the bonus points versus AA versus this. if it was me, I almost feel like the rankings should be flipped. But at the same time, if I'm the CBs, that just motivates me. It's time to go out there and prove all these mathematical formulas wrong and get ourselves moving up into the top 4 ourselves.
Absolutely. I think that's a good point that you make there. So without further ado, let's talk about the starting lineups as Clay Batelle is about to come through the banner. Again, our starting lineups are brought to you by Lang Monument, family-owned and celebrating families since 1874. Located in the Wharf District, Morgantown, and online at langmonument.com. So we'll go ahead and start with the CB's offense. Lining up from left to right, Trey Huggins, the senior, Huggy Bear. And then you got Colt Sandy over at tight end, followed by the line, Cameron Mercer, Jax Huggins. I gave the wrong Huggy Bear. I gotta pay attention to that. J.J. Doshin, Cooper Statler, Zach Gump, Braden Ponsarov out on the side, along with Santa Fe, Cody Clovis. At quarterback, you've got Corey Cohen, followed back by a trio of great backs, Cooper Payton, and then Caleb Squared, Caleb Hall, Caleb Snodgrass. Over on the defensive side for Sherman, you have Elijah Pauley, which also serves as their quarterback. We'll talk about him. One guy that stands out big, Levi Sprouse, Cade Wall, and then Connor Lovejoy, Luke Elkins, Bryce Mooney, Trey Lester, which we'll get to him on the offensive side, Colby Atkins, Dawson Green, who's a big playmaker on the defensive side, and Chase Southern, who plays the safety position. Again, let's talk about this since they share a lot of the same personnel on both sides of the ball, as Clay Batelle doesn't do as much, but Sherman does a good bit of. Let's talk about the duo of Elijah Pauley and Trey Lester. Chance?
When you come to looking at these two guys, Elijah Pauley's a really good quarterback for a single-A school, and then you get into Trey Lester, and the film just shows he's a phenomenal athlete. He's fast, he's tall, he's strong. He is going to be the matchup problem as far as things go for the CBs on defense. If you can find a way to shut him down, you kind of turn them into a one-dimensional team is what I'll say. But he's the athlete you want to shut down, I believe, as far as the CBs go on the offensive side of the ball. You're going to want to run against them because they do have them fast athletes in the secondary. We brought up the point that during the pregame there that Elijah Pauley has caught more interceptions than he has thrown, and that's an impressive stat for somebody playing quarterback and playing cornerback at the same time. And that's one of them. That lets you know that they got athletes back there, and the last thing you want to do is make a mistake against a good team like this. So I feel the CBs need to control the line of scrimmage on offense and, just keep running the ball down the throat if they can.
Well, you kind of touched on this. We'll get into your keys to the game in a second. Again, the keys to the game for Clay Batelle by DPS Land Services. DPS Land Services, your partner in land management and acquisition, leasing, mineral buying, due diligence, and more. Our expert team makes complex land deals simple. Visit dpslandservices.com. Chance, your keys to the game will start. Actually, we'll start on the Sherman side. Give me 2 for Sherman before we get into Clay Batelle.
Keys to the game for them, as far as I'm concerned, is you got to get Lester involved. Keep him making plays like he's made for you all year long. He made plays in the Tug Valley game for him. He is definitely their go-to on offense. When it comes to the defensive side, they've got to find a way to, I love how you worded it there a second ago, to stop the Caleb Square backfield, because if they can't find a way to contain them, it's really going to open things up for Clay Batelle on offense.
Okay, and then on the flip side, you see this CB's team every week. Now, this is a bigger challenge than a lot of the ones they've had, especially since Cameron. This is arguably the biggest game of the year for them. What are you seeing out of Clay Batelle today, and what are you looking for?
On the offensive side, like I said, you really want to control the line of scrimmage. We've seen that last week versus Riverview. We only had one completed pass, and we were still able to win the game by like 3 touchdowns, and I feel that. And, talking to LePeau before the game, he brought up the point, this is the healthiest they've been in a while. He said everybody's back pretty well 100% except for Price. He said Price is now out of the walking boot, which we got to see during warm-ups. He was actually out there throwing the ball around a little bit. But, being healthy but controlling that line of scrimmage and offense, when it comes to the defensive side, it's shutting down Trey Lester. If you take Trey Lester out of the ball game, I believe you match up at the other positions pretty evenly, and it's going to be hard for them to sustain a long drive. You know what I mean? They may still hit that big play on you, but they ain't going to be able to sustain something against you.
Absolutely. Those are your keys to the game, brought to you by DPS Land Services. Thank you, Chance. We'll talk about it's almost time for kickoff. We're getting close to that point as Sherman makes their way onto the field. Again, they brought the cowbells and take up almost a third of the stands, so an impressive showing for a team way down south, 3 hours away for this first ever matchup on a Saturday afternoon. Your captains for the day for today for Clay Batelle: number 3, Braden Ponserov; number 5, Colt Sandy; number 6, Cooper Payton; and number 62, Cooper Statler. They are the representatives for the Seabees out at midfield. Sherman won the toss and will receive the opening kickoff here in Blacksville. Again, we're going to go straight into game coverage as we are less than 2 minutes away now. Again, a fantastic size of a crowd here today with some pink drizzled in the crowd. Again, it's the breast cancer awareness game. You see a lot of pink socks and cleats on both teams, actually. So
yeah, I will bring up that Cooper Statler normally wears opposite colored cleats, and in celebration of this game, he is wearing both of the pink cleats today, which is nice to see, and in support of that.
A good stand of celebration against stopping cancer. Again, we are in the final minute of our pregame festivities. It's almost time for the Vision Homes kickoff. Vision Homes has been building custom homes for area families for over 30 years. Visit AskVisionHomes.com and see how easy it is to build a house you're proud to call home. Again, the Vision Homes kickoff coming up in the next 45 seconds. Chance, any last thoughts before we get into game action?
Just an amazing crowd, amazing atmosphere, amazing weather. Everything's coming together for a perfect day of football. And just going to sit back, call this with you, Jonathan, and enjoy the day, hopefully.
Absolutely. I am excited. Again, Sherman and Clay Batelle both 6-1. Clay Batelle trying to defend its perfect record at home, 4-0 at home this season. And Aaron Lepeau looking to pick up his 11th overall win as the head coach of the Seabees. A lot on the line here as we are ready to go. The whistle blows, and Clay Batelle has kicked it off, and it's a squibbler up past the 30-yard line, and a short return stopped up at just short of the 37-yard line for Sherman, and that brings out the Tide offense, especially led by Trey Lester and Eli Pauley, the receiver/running back and the quarterback. Eli Pauley going to be taking the snaps today, and he's been a bit of a dual threat. 63 yards carrying, also has a touchdown, but he gets his work done up in the air. 96 of 51 on the season, has over 1,600 yards passing, 17 touchdowns compared to just 5 interceptions. So expect an air assault today. He has number 27 lined up next to him. And that's a run up the middle, up to about the 42-yard line for the Sherman Tide as they get underway, wrapped up by a gaggle of Seabees.
Yeah, somebody I didn't see back here. We got 27, Levi Sprouse on the
carry. We were talking about this. We have Levi Sprouse listed as 27 and 25 on our charts. So if you're a Sherman fan tuning in, sorry about that. We'll fix that. Levi Sprouse was the carrier. I'm wondering if Sherman's going to rely on more, since it's obvious that Trey Lester's the main X factor in this as he's lined out to the far right. Got a man to his right as well. And there he goes. Trey Lester up the middle and is wrapped up short of the 45.
Cameron Mercer on the tackle there.
Yeah, see, this is the nice part about having a spotter that's seen all of these games still. Now, watched a lot of film, listened to you guys a lot, but again, I can't do what Ethan Collins usually does. So again, Ethan, if you're listening, we love you. He's got work on the other side of town today for Metro News. So it'll be 3rd and 2. The Clay Batelle defense has a chance to get a quick 3 and out, but again, 2 yards for a potent offense with someone like Trey Lester. 3rd and 2, handoff up the middle. It's a bruiser, and it gets up to midfield. That's going to be a first down for the Sherman Tide. That's the first down of the game. Bit animated in the backfield from number 50 for Sherman. Waylon Baldwin making his presence known as he created that hole for the Sherman Tide offense.
Yeah, so far Sherman's been able to control it on the ground. Hasn't put it in the air yet, which is something you don't want for the Seabees to see, because if they're able to start running on you, it's going to open up that deep passing attack.
Absolutely. It's 1st and 10, new set of downs, runner to the left, and he cuts back, and he gets past a few defenders, and he's all the way down to about the 36-yard line. Again, a gain of almost 14. He shook about 3 CBs on the way, and that'll move the chains for another first down. And just like that, in the opening 2.5 minutes, Sherman is quickly approaching and going deeper into CB territory.
First down, time.
And if you hear the cowbells in the background today, that is the Sherman faithful that made the 3-hour trip up here. Now receivers on both ends. Handoff up the middle to Levi Sprouse yet again. It goes on to the left side.
Only about 2 yards on that carry. Bring up a 2nd and 8.
Again, 2nd and 8 coming up from the, they're going to mark it at the 35, just inside the 35. As Sherman huddles up.
Now 2nd down.
Clay Batelle running a few men, a 4-man front. Pauly has a runner to his right and 3 receivers out to the right. It's handoff up the middle yet again. And this time, not as much room to go for Eli Vereen. Still picks up a little chunk. It'll be 3rd and medium for the Tide.
Yeah, looked like I'm going to pick up a 3 there by him. Nice job of the CBs corralling him there in the middle of the line, and we'll go to 3rd and 5.
Yep, they're going to mark it 3rd and 5 with 8.5 to go. Still scoreless in the opening quarter between Clay Batelle and Sherman here on WAJR.com. Again, same formation. You have Pauly in the backfield. He's rolling out to his right. This might be his first pass attempt, but they've snuffed it out, and he throws it away. Oh, did he make the catch? It was right on the side. And that might be Trey Lester's first catch. LePeau is...
They're calling it incomplete.
Yep. They're calling it incomplete after it looked like Trey Lester might have made a fantastic toe tap, and it went... It was just outside. His foot was not in. It was touching the white. It's going to be 4th down, a huge stop for Clay Batelle, but not out of the woods yet. Looks like they're going to be going for it, and can't blame them. Sherman's going to have it 4th and 5 from the 32-yard line, trying to strike first in this ever-crucial Class A battle.
Yeah, the Sandman almost had himself a sack there. We mentioned in the pregame that their offensive line's a little handsy, and I felt like he got a good grab at Jersey there and could have gotten the call, but the play still worked out in their favor anyway.
It did. So now you have 4th and 5 on this opening drive from the 32-yard line. Has a runner in motion. There's a flag. It's going to be a false start.
Dead ball. They're going to punt it now. Got to punt it. Number 50 in the offense.
So it's going to be 4th and 10 for Sherman. They're going to have to punt it unless they want to try and sneak something here. Never know in a game like this. 4th and 10 from the 37. Clay Batelle catches a break.
Can't give it to this offense.
So as Sherman huddles up,
I think they
breaks
may
the
be
huddle.
going for it.
They are going for it. And again, 4th and 10 from the 37 with under 7:50 to go in the opening quarter. Still scoreless. Pauly drops back. He's going to have to run. He's scrambling. Still looking for someone. He backs up. He's throwing. That's an easy pick. And it's picked off by Trey Huggins. And it's taken over inside the 15-yard line. Basically a punt at this point, but a huge play for Trey Huggins to get that stop. Chance, what a play to make a statement.
It is. It's one of them you wish you could teach a young kid, just knock it on the ground because you'd have better field position, but at the same time, you stopped them either way. You've got the ball back, and that's what matters.
Absolutely. So Clay Batelle will take over 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. This is our first look at an explosive Clay Batelle offense led by Corey Cohen, the quarterback, and he will be in shotgun with a man to his left, 2 receivers to his left as well. And it's a keeper, and he gets past a few defenders, and he's brought out to the 21-yard line. It's going to be a gain of just under 7 yards and a positive first play for the CBs on offense today.
Yeah, nice hole there for Cohen. It got opened up on the left side here between Mercer and a now healthy Huggins, opening up a hole for him.
Again, we talked to Coach LePeau before the game, and he talked this is probably the healthiest CB's been in a long time. And Corey Cohen, no stranger to running the ball. Coming in today, 57 carries for 365 and 7 touchdowns. He had the keeper on the first play from scrimmage. This time he's looking to go deep, and he's got a man wide open. He's past midfield and all the way down to the 43-yard line. That is Braden Ponserov. That's the first time he's made an impact offensively.
Got him for 37 yards on the catch by Ponserov there.
I mean, he was wide open. You had 2 defenders behind him, but they were playing out a little bit. Interesting scheme in the secondary for Sherman, and it pays off for Clay Batelle. Again, Braden Ponserov on the reception. And a fantastic way to get the air game going. Last week they only passed 1 time and won by 22. So now you have a loaded backfield. Takes the snap, Cohen hands it off, and it's wrapped up at the line of scrimmage for Caleb Snodgrass. His first look of the afternoon offensively. Be 2nd and 10 from the 43-yard line. Again, set up by that 37-yard reception by Braden Ponserov.
No gain on the play.
Got Ponserov over here tying his shoe. Ref grabbing a hand warmer in the background there. I think they're kind of stalling on things, but
that's all right. It's not terrible. It's 52 degrees. It is nice, but again, a stacked crowd here today. Perfect football weather, if you ask, and it's the first of 2 games in the area. This might be the better one, if you ask me. Okay. So we're now set, and with 5:37 to go, it's going to be 2nd and 10. 3 seconds on the play clock. 2nd and 10. He rolls out to his left. Cohen looking. He's got Ponserov. It's one-on-one, and it's just overthrown. And Trey Lester was the man in coverage. That's going to be the matchup you want to see all day long, or listen to all day long. It's going to be 3rd and 10 from the 43.
Yeah, you got that Levi Sprouse out there. I didn't really notice him on film this week, but he seems to be definitely contributed on both sides of the ball here today. I don't know if he's been injured during the season and now just back, or just somebody I did not recognize on film, but he is definitely making a big impact right now.
Well, here's the thing with him is he's had maybe half as many tackles as their leading tackler, Dawson Green. But when he does make the tackles, he's impactful. He leads the team in tackles for losses and sacks. 9 TFLs, 4 sacks for Levi Sprouse of the Sherman Tide. Timeout is called by Clay Batelle, their first of the half. And they'll take a second to regroup on the side. And while we have a second chance, we've had about half the quarter to see what both of these teams are coming out with offensively. What are you liking from Clay Batelle on this opening drive?
In the opening drive, it's nice to see, we were able to hit that one big pass there. We did have Corey with a nice run, but it does feel like Sherman's really wanting to shut the run down. They've done a decent job of it so far. I feel like besides the run by Corey, they got that one stuffed there. We're looking at a 3rd and 10. Sometimes I think just we don't need to panic right now. We're at 3rd and 10. Maybe you make this a more manageable with a run and be willing to go for it on 4th down. It'll be interesting to see if they go for a pass or if they do a run here to set up a more manageable 4th down.
Again, 3rd and 10. You got a long way to go to move the chains for the CB's offense. But again, 2 chunk plays have really set them up nicely, including that 37-yarder from Corey Cohen to Braden Ponserov. You got 2 receivers out to the left. No receivers to the right. Have 2 runners in the backfield. And Cohen will go right under center. Oh, no, he doesn't. He takes the shotgun, and it's a run up the middle, up to about the 40-yard line. Not going to be enough for the first down. It'll be 4th and 7. Right at the 40-yard line. Chance, you know this team better than most. What do you think's coming in this 4th down?
You're looking at a bootleg from Corey. You're probably going to send Ponserov deep. You're going to possibly send Huggins deep. I'd look for maybe, Cooper Payton across the middle here on a slant.
So you have Huggins and Ponserov. It looked like Sherman might have jumped off sides, but they didn't call it. Again, Huggins and Ponserov, your receivers to the left. Cohen takes the snap, rolls out, and he falls down. So a bit of miscommunication. The turf monster got him. Falls all the way back to about the 48-yard line. It's going to be a turnover on downs and a huge loss that sets up the Sherman Tide offense in fantastic position. They'll take over at their own 47-yard line. 1st and 10 with 4:42 to go in the opening quarter. Still scoreless in Blacksville between the Sherman Tide and the Clay Batelle Seabees. So it's still a feeling out process, Chance. It seems like both these teams are trying to figure out what's really going on.
I agree with you. Working the rust out, seeing what works, what doesn't.
And there's the handoff up the left side for 27, Levi Sprouse. He's had the heavy dose of running so far in this opening quarter. Picks up a handful. Gain of 3, 2nd and 7. Just shy of midfield by about an inch. Again, beautiful day for football in Blacksville. You have cars lined up down the side on the far side of the field, near capacity here at Clay Batelle. Have a runner sent in motion. Pauly throws a screen, and it's going backwards, and he ends up getting past his own man, and that's going to go out into Clay Batelle territory at the 45-yard line. That was Chase Southern on the catch. That Chance, that looked like that play was going to be blown up in the backfield. And
Ponsoroff got around the block there, like you said. Got back in there, looked like he was going to get him in the backfield. Little juke play, was able to get out to the sideline and get 5 yards.
So that brings up 3rd and 2. Again, another chance for Clay Batelle to assert some defensive prowess. But again, short field favors Sherman. Again, they have a middle-of-the-pack offense in Class A, the number 8 scoring offense, compared to the top defense in Class A. Fakes the handoff, and he's brought down for a sack. Coverage sack.
The Sandman with the sack there.
And that takes down Eli Pauly way back. And both times on 3rd down, 3rd and 4th down so far for Sherman. It seems like Clay Batelle has their number, gets it in the backfield for a loss of 7, takes it back to their own 47. And now it will be 4th and 9. Looks like they might be punting this time.
May finally get a punt. You're right. I watch the fake. I mean, it's one of them games that you can do that in, but
punter calls for the snap. That's Chase Southern. He boots it. It's a nice one.
Nice punt.
It goes way back to the 10-yard line. It's going to be returned by Ponsoroff. Ponsoroff makes a man miss up to the 20-yard line and finally brought down at the 22-yard line. Be 1st and 10 Seabees with 3:44 to go in the opening quarter. Chance, that was a nice return from Ponsoroff. He got a man missing.
Yeah, it was. He was going to let it roll, and when the ball bounced, it bounced right to him. And nice little juke play there. Get about a 12-yard return out of it and get you outside your own 20 there. Well, looks like even closer to the 23.
That will set up shop for the Seabees. Again, the first ever meeting between these two squads, both of them playing for heavy playoff implications, both at 6-1 and in the top 6. There's the pitch to the right side. That's Caleb Hall, and he gets past the first down marker, and there's a late flag. That might be a horse collar the way he was thrown down.
It's either going to be a horse collar or a face mask there for sure.
Yeah, he was brought down by the upper, might be the upper around the neck area. So again, Caleb Hall with the gain. As it stands, is about a 12-yard gain. But it looks like, well, it is a face mask officially, and that goes against Pauly.
It is incidental, so it'll only be 5 yards. But result of the play, as the guy says, 1st down.
Yeah, well, it all plays the same, but it does give better field position to the Seabees, and that sets the shop up at the 41-yard line.
Yeah, that first defender for Sherman got up there and tried tackling like a West Virginia Mountaineer with his arms closed, just driving into him with a shoulder, and Caleb Hall just bounced right off of him, kept going.
That brings up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line, sending a runner in motion. That's Cohen looking deep. He's going to turn around. It's going to be a bang-bang play. Oh, and he mossed him! He mossed him! He's all the way to the house. There's Santa Fe, Cody Clovis. Oh, my gosh, he mossed him right over the defender's head. That could be a Sports Center top 10 play right there. Touchdown, Seabees. They take the 6-0 lead with 3:02 to go in the opening quarter. Fantastic play. Looked like it might have been a short pass, but the redirection and the fix on the route from Cody Clovis.
57 yards on the reception, Jonathan.
Man, what a play.
Trey Lester went to make the play.
And we were looking for him.
And he misjudged it. He went just a little bit forward. Cody was right behind him, got the right leap to it, gets the ball, and then from there, 4.52 speed took over and was able to outrun the defender.
So the 2-point conversion coming up. Cohen takes the snap, hands it off to Hall, and Hall is in. That's a successful 2-point conversion. It is now 8-0 for the Seabees as they take the lead in a crucial game. Again, that pass to Cody Clovis from Corey Cohen all the way 57 yards. He mossed Trey Lester, and just a fantastic play athletically. And, again, what a way to redirect the route as the pass was short from Cohen. Yeah. He came back, and it looked like Lester was going to – I mean, that would have been a pick six to the house.
Yeah, yes, it would have been for him. And I tell you what, I ain't going to lie to you. My heart stopped for a moment because I thought Lester had the read on it, and it just barely off his fingertips, and Clovis taking it away. It was an amazing play by Clovis. It was nice to see him use the speed afterwards. We've been talking about that all season. He finally got a chance to use it. It'll be interesting. I will tell you this. We're coming out and attacking differently, and I kind of thought we were. I really felt like we were going to run the ball a lot more than we are, but it seems LePeau has seen something in film that he wants to test this Sherman defense and see if he can get some deep passes, and so far we've gotten it.
Absolutely. 3:02 to go. Clay Batelle leads 8-0 after that fantastic play again. It's going to be it seems like a bit of a catalyst for it brought this crowd alive. I mean, it erupted on that play, and rightfully so. Just a fantastic show of athleticism from all involved on the Clay Batelle side. So Sherman will now have to work out of an 8-0 hole, or 8-0 hole, late in the first quarter. It's going to be a barn burner, folks. And that chipper is brought to the 26-yard line. It will be returned by Lester. And it was read perfectly by number 6, Cooper Payton, who was the main tackler on that return. And he maybe got, 5 yards on that return?
Yeah, got 5 yards and then got stuffed right there, like you said, by Cooper Payton at the 30, just short of the 35 by the nose of the ball.
They're going to call it the 35. So it'll be 1st and 10, 35. Again, Trey Lester was the man on the return. He's probably your X factor for this Sherman Tide squad. Well, not even maybe. He is. I mean, we haven't even talked about his stats today. Over 1,300 yards of total offense, 20 total touchdowns. He's a dual threat in both ways. So Pauly takes the snap. They had 3 receivers to the right, and it's batted perfectly read by Cameron Mercer, who batted it and had a chance to pick it off himself. But again, that's why he's not playing. He's not playing offense.
On the line.
He's not playing.
The reason he's on the line with the big uglies.
Absolutely. But again, he tipped it, and he had it for a second, and it just went out of his hands. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 35. Again, they had 3 receivers out to the left, and they looked for that inside throw around the 40-yard line, and Cameron Mercer said, nope, not today. 2:49 to go, 2nd and 10 at the 35.
Need to keep an eye on that, Jonathan. The boys may have been taught this week to count to a certain number in your head and just put your hands in the air. And I think we got a false start.
Got him on the false start. Again, that's the second time so far in this first quarter for Sherman. Again, we've talked about not necessarily discipline issues for Sherman, but just the way they handle things like this. Again, second pre-snap mistake for this line.
Yeah, it's one of those that you hate that as a coach. You want to get the play off, but here they go again.
Same formation, rolling out to the left is Pauly. He's still looking. The man in coverage, he's going to get wrapped up. Tripped.
2 yards.
He's going to get a gain of 2 yards after that, and it'll be 3rd and, we'll call it 14. And on the wrap-up, that was Cooper Payton was one of the CBs in there. It's now going to be 3rd and 13.
I think it was the Sandman over there, either Sandman or Cooper, done a good job of stretching him to the sideline. He was able to turn it in, but that's what you want him to do. That leads you to the rest of your defense, and only got 2 yards out of it.
So, again, another 3rd and long situation, 3rd and 13. As Pauly rolls out, again, he likes to do that so far. There's a man in coverage, and it's short. And Trey Lester was the man looking for the receiver, and it was just short. He got pushed in the back, and he was wondering where the flag was. That is completely legal in that type of play.
I'll say number 5 was complaining. Pauly was complaining because he got hit after he threw the ball. But if the defender's got his hands on you before you throw it, he's allowed to take you on down to the ground.
Again, Cooper Payton was, again, we called his name a lot. He was one of the few that caused a lot of pressure for the Sherman Tide. And, again, they're going to have to punt. Clay Batelle applying pressure early. Here's the second punt of the day from Chase Southern. Poncerov will watch it. It's going to bounce to the 31 and fall dead. He's not even going to touch it. And Clay Batelle will take over at the 31-yard line, up 8-0 with 1:50 left in this opening quarter. Chance, what are you looking for on this drive? Do you think they keep the same type of, do you think they're going to change it up at all, or do you think they're going to keep working out what they have?
I mean, it's one of them to me that, the passing game has been working. There's no doubt about that. But that was so close to going the other way. I'd like to see him get back to just ground and pound here, see if we can get the running game going. The passing game has definitely been going.
So that brings up 1st and 10 at the 31. First play scrimmage from this drive. He's got a hole. And that's up to the 45. He cuts back and is finally brought down by Lester. Again, that is Caleb Snodgrass on the carry up to the 45-yard line. A gain of 14 on 1st and 10. Sets up shop for the Seabees at the 40. They're going to mark it right at the 46, actually. So gain of 15.
Lester come from behind, and Lester showed his speed there. He closed that gap really quickly. I think Caleb thought he had a little bit more time, and it just wasn't there.
Again, Snodgrass, a very consistent runner, 65 carries, averaging almost 7 yards a carry and 7 touchdowns so far this season. He's been a threat in the backfield. Cohen takes a snap, hands it off again, up the left side, and this time to Caleb Hall, the other half of Caleb squared. And that's up to the 48-yard line. That'll be a gain of 2. 2nd and 8 now.
They're working the outside of the tackles there is where LePeau seems to be wanting to get this running game going.
So we're in the final minute of this opening quarter. 8-0 Seabees over Sherman. It'll be 2nd and 8 for the 48-yard line. Call coming in from the sidelines from second-year head coach Aaron LePeau. He's been really solid at home this year. He's 6-3 at home since taking over the Seabees. 10-6 overall.
Got 9 seconds on the play clock. They need to hurry.
They've ran it down a few times. They went all the way down to 3, and now it's at 2. And taking the snap, and it's a fake and a keeper from Cohen. He gets to midfield and wrapped up. And the final 15 seconds will melt away. Don't know if they'll take another snap. It's going to be about the same. It's going to be a 2-yard movement at the end of the quarter. And the final 5 seconds will tick away. And that brings us to the end of quarter number 1. Clay Batelle off the 57-yard touchdown leads 8-0 at the end of the first. We'll take a 30-second break, and we'll be back with second quarter action on WAJR.com.
Z-Bart is your local expert for automotive appearance and protection products and services. And now, Z-Bart can apply the ceramic Z-Gloss paint coating to your vehicle for a shine that never goes away. No more waxing. No more rubbing. No more settling for a less than perfect finish. No more. Z-Bart's ceramic Z-Gloss is a 3-layer coating that preserves your vehicle's incredible shine. Get the glossy details online at zbart.com. Z-Bart of Morgantown, just off I-68 exit 7, Fort Pierpont Plaza.
This is Clay Batelle High Seabees football on WAJR.
And we're back for second quarter action. A fresh 12 minutes has come up on the clock. 8-0. Clay Batelle leads it over Sherman in this huge Class A fight. If you're just joining us, I'm Johnathan Edwards, your play-by-play, stepping in for Ethan Collins today, joined by Chance Collins, your usual color commentator. Again, a fantastic first quarter of action between two heavyweights in the Class A division, but Clay Batelle has the early lead at home as we start the second frame of action in Blacksville. They have it 3rd and 6 at the Sherman 49. It's a pitch out to the right, and there's a flag, and brought down is Hall. See what the flag is for.
It's in that holding area.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Just don't know who it's going against. It did come out early. It wasn't before he got a hole, because he was stopped at the 46.
Interesting decision. It was stopped. So do you force him to 4th down, or do you take the hold if you're Sherman?
I would.
73 of the offense.
Let's see what they call it. They're going to replay 3rd down. That's all right. Who did they call him that? It was
Gump.
Zach Gump. We talked about him pregame. He has some serious size, especially at the Class A level. Again, he got called on the holding. Now set up 3rd and 16, so you buy another down because Sherman didn't decline it. Ball set up at the 41-yard line. Needs to get to the opposite.
A little bit of confusion here, it looks
44.
like, setting up.
Play clock down to 6 and counting. Cohen calls for it. Ponsarov going backwards. This is going to be some trickery maybe. No! That might be an illegal forward pass if it sticks, but for now, does he get him again? Oh, it's almost intercepted on the right side by Chase Southern. But what a play. That was bizarre. That was a bizarre play because he pitched it forward and it eventually got called a complete pass or incomplete pass. Chance, what did you see on that play? Because it was weird.
A whole bunch of ugliness, to be honest with you. It's almost to an extent you just wish Ponce would have just went down with the ball. He was able to get it away. I'm with you. It almost looked like a forward pass to me more than a lateral.
Yeah, I thought it was. He definitely passed it forward. They didn't call it for that. So, regardless,
we'll set up here with the punt there.
Yeah, 4th and 16. Clay Battelle's going to have to punt it away. Has a nice route, and that's going to be end over end to the 20 and picked up by Sherman. Ponsarov had a chance to make the tackle and has finally made it at the 24-yard line. By Colt Sandy was the main one in there on that. The kick from Josh Wilson. And now that sets up 1st and 10 with 11:11 left to go in the first half. Again, if you're just joining us, Clay Batelle leads 8-0 in this battle of Class A Titans here in Week 8. Week 8 for Clay Batelle. Week 9 in West Virginia. Again, all eyes on Blacksville when it comes to high school football in the state of West Virginia today. Not many weird Saturday 1 o'clock games going around, if at all, other than here. So, again, flipped the formation from last time, but still 3 receivers to the right. And a stop up by Levi Sprouse brought down by the Clay Batelle defense. And he's slow to get up.
I think it probably, the way he landed, I'd say it knocked the breath out of him.
He got lassoed a bit and finally came down. Again, your injured player, Levi Sprouse, who's been the bell cow, at least in the running game so far, for Sherman.
Me and Ethan have talked about this throughout the season. Oh, Josh Wilson, plug and play, as we like to call him. He sets that in so well. And the tailback wanted to come out wide, and Josh just moved his lineman up wide, forced the run back inside, which is where the rest of your defense is, allowing Colt Sandy to get in there and make the play.
Again, the Sandman making his presence known early in this game. We've called his name a handful of times. He's Levi Sprouse, again, the injured member of the Sherman Tide. He's going to have some help off to the sideline. He's closer to the Clay Batelle sideline, but he's going to jog it off, which is a good sign. Much to the enjoyment of the Sherman faithful that made the long haul up here. And just a minute gone in the second quarter. It'll be second and 8 from the 27-yard line. Sherman trying to dig out of this deficit that was amassed off the 57-yarder that we mentioned earlier. So let's shut up shop again. Have 2 receivers to the right, sends Colby Atkins in motion. Pauly dropping back, straight back. He's got a man, and he's going to be hit, and that's going to eventually throw it away. He got out of the tackle box, but in on there was Caleb Hall, was one of the men chasing him down.
We got a flag after the play. I believe they were complaining that Pauly got hit, but if they got a hold of you before you throw the ball, the reason that pass didn't make it to the line of scrimmage was because Sandman had a hold of him.
Well, they were lucky it wasn't considered a fumble. His arm was going forward, though, so they're going to hold on to the ball. And they're going to.
They are going to call it.
So a late flag is called for Pauly's intentional grounding. He looked like he didn't get out of the box after all. It's a loss of down, which is huge. In a situation like this, it brings up 4th and forever.
I'll be honest, that penalty surprises me. I feel like we had a hold of him. But, being a CB's fan, not going to complain on that one.
So it's still 3rd down. The scoreboard has it at 4th. It's going to be 3rd and an eternity. You have blocker, but you have 3 receivers. He's rolling out. And Pauly's on the run, and he's nowhere close. It's going to bring up 4th and about 14. And that's going to stall the Tide again. Clay Batelle's going to get another chance offensively. Again, their defense not only Sherman's beating itself early on with the penalties, and just the way they've approached this game has not worked out in its favor for the Tide. But Clay Batelle, to their credit, has made the most of those mistakes. And it's still a feeling-out process. They're not dominating the game yet. It's a chess match, especially with two high-tier Class A teams. Punt is away, and it rolls past midfield, and it's going to roll out of bounds shy of the 45-yard line. Clay Batelle will have decent starting field position just outside the 45-yard line with 10:27 to go and holding that 8-0 lead. Chance, you got a new drive coming up, and I'm going to ask you this a lot because this is my favorite thing to ask. Caller guys, is what are you expecting out of this drive for Clay Batelle?
I expect us to go back to the ground. I do expect to see that. I think LePau's trying to get the run game going, and that is our bread and butter. And if we can get it going, that passing attack will even get more dangerous.
Cohen takes a snap, hands it off to the right side, and he's got a hole, and that gets out across midfield and down to the 47-yard line. That was Caleb Hall, who again has had a load of this running attack so far, and that running attack is no stranger to Clay Batelle, only passing the ball one time in a 40-18 win last week if you tuned in. Again, this is a run-heavy team, but Corey Cohen is a good quarterback passing-wise, but we'll see. I mean, their one touchdown came off a pass so far this half. We'll see. Cohen in the backfield takes the shotgun snap, hands it off again to Hall, and he's running the same – and a late flag. He might have been. Is that targeting?
We might get holding on Huggins here on the side, just where the flag's at.
But he threw it right as soon as that hit came, and it wasn't necessarily late, but it was up toward the neck area, and it did come in right when he was sliding. So I'm not sure. Okay, so that's on me. That'll end up being a block in the back, and that will move the CBs in reverse order.
And normally when they hit the player with the flag, to me, at the sign, they know that's who they want to call it against.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, you had a holding on the last drive. It killed your drive. You had a first down there. It gets called back. Now you're at 2nd and 8. But the run game's working. Like, that was still, a good 4 or 5 yards there on the run. I don't see changing anything. Just keep pounding them. Get them penalties cleaned up a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think this one's necessarily a drive killer as much as the last one was because it's an early down, and you had 2nd and short to begin with. But, again, you don't want to be going in reverse. You have two receivers out to the left, and Cohen hands it off again. They're going to run the same play again, and this time he shakes a few tacklers and still falling down. Finally wrapped up by Pauly. Hall, again, Caleb Hall has been the bell cow this afternoon so far. Snodgrass had a few chances, but it's been Caleb Hall so far. That'll move the chains on the 2nd and 8 to make it 1st and 10 from the 43-yard line of the Sherman Tide.
Seeing a little frustration now of the Sherman players, kind of hollering over at the ref, hollering at each other. I don't know if there's communication problems going on or what they feel is going on, but it's just at the same time you can see some frustration coming out.
Well, we saw that on tape too. They're not afraid to make it known. But again, another timeout taken. This Clay Batelle's 2nd of the half with 9:06 to go. They still hold that 8-0 lead. It was looking like Ponserov and Huggins were going to be the receivers out to the far side, but we'll see if they change the formation and the timeout. In the meantime,
felt like a quick clock there to me, Jonathan.
It did. It really did. But we'll keep it here for the time being. It's only a 30-second timeout. And, Chance, I'll let you talk about this, what you can see in regrouping as they have a 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Like I said, still working off the tackles with the run. We're seeing a lot of pitch to Hall to the outside. It seems when they go inside, it's the other part of the Caleb square. It's Snodgrass going up the middle. Sometimes he does the dirty work, which in the long run opens up for Caleb Hall around the outside. But they've definitely caught something on film that they feel like they can take advantage of just running off this right side here.
Yeah, again, they've pitched it out to the right side several times early on as they are ready to break the huddle on the sideline. It seems like the timeout's about wrapped up. Again, we'll talk about tape again. Sherman, again, fantastic team, but again, the communication issues and frustration, they're very vocal and animated.
They are.
And sometimes that's to their credit because if you have a lot of fire, that'll get you places, but it can also burn you. So something to keep an ear out for, as we'll try to display when they show it throughout the game. 9:06 to go. We're breaking out of the timeout. 9:06 left in the first half. Clay Batelle leading 8-0 on a beautiful day in Blacksville. And they're going to run it this time a little bit closer to the middle, but it's still on the right side. This time it goes to Caleb Snodgrass, the other half. And he moves up the ball.
Got 2 yards on that. I felt he got 3, but they're going to mark it back a little bit there.
A bit of a bad spot, if you ask us. It'll be second and 8 at the 41-yard line.
That was the same play, though, that they've been running with Hall. They didn't even take Snodgrass up the middle, working off that right tackle spot.
Well, it did look like he started to move up toward the middle, and then he detoured a bit to that right side. I guess they're really going up against this right side of the Sherman defensive line, and it seemed to work in spurts. 2nd and 8. Keeper after the fake. There goes Cohen. Cohen's got a hole. He's going up the middle. He's got one man to beat, and Pauly finally brings him down at the 15-yard line. First down after the huge gain.
25 yards on the carry, Jonathan.
Yep, and it finally brought down. They're going to mark it at the just shy of the 15.
Just for the record, everybody on Sherman went with the tailback.
And they bought it.
They bought into it big time. Nice, play action there if you want to say, but he kept the ball. That was an awesome read by Corey to see how that was going. I mean, everybody just went to the right. He ran to the left, and huge hole.
Well, that opens up the Clay Batelle offense now, because that Sherman defense is looking for that right side all the time, and the CB burned them on that. But, again, we'll see how it goes. This time it's the same play going out to the right side, back to Hall. Hall makes a few men miss, and all the way down inside the 5-yard line, finally brought down by number 27, Levi Sprouse, who's back out there after he suffered a short injury on defense or on offense earlier. But, again, that sets up 1st and goal. Goal-to-go situation at the 4-yard line. They might call it the 3, depending on your eye from here.
That was a
1st and 3.
12-yard carry by Hall. And he knew everybody, once again, went wide right. He just countered right back with it, and it was there. He was 6 yards deep before he got touched.
Again, this opens up all the options in the world for a play-action-heavy team like Clay Batelle. There's 7 minutes to go. Lining up heavy on the right side, and it's a keeper for Cody. He lost the football, and that's going to go to the Sherman Tide, and it finally burned them. Clay Batelle turns the ball over in goal-to-go situations. Sherman will take over after several members of the Tide were in on the tackle and just stripped it. Corey Cohen was not protecting the ball when he's trying to fend off the defender, and it didn't work, and Sherman gets a massive break and returns it out to the 12-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10, Sherman.
Yeah, if you're the CBs now, you just get back to work. Nothing big. You were driving on them. You were doing what you were supposed to be doing. You just got to find a way to get the stop here and get right back at him.
Corey Cohen making his way over to the sideline, get a water break. Sherman will take back over. Pauly looking deep. It's going to be one-on-one coverage, and it almost intercepted. It was right, and it was defended perfectly by Cody Clovis, who has made an impact in several facets of this game early on.
Yeah, you could almost have called offensive pass interference, because I feel like Lester just ran right through Clovis to make sure he didn't make the interception, because he had it read perfectly.
We talked about it all week. Trey Lester, yes, the X factor, but shut him down. You're going to have a lot of things go right for you. Lester's yet to break open. He probably will at some point, and not to discredit Clay Batelle. He's probably going to burn someone at least once, but for the time being, he's been mossed defensively, and he's had a couple over-the-shoulder looks where it's been guarded perfectly by the likes of Cody Clovis. Here's the handoff this time, trying to wiggle his way back in, gets to the 20-yard line.
They're trying to find a way to get him involved, but as of right now, he has 2 carries for 6 yards. He has been shut out as far as receiving goes. They're trying to do, I'll give him 4 yards on that after seeing the spot. So you can say 2 carries for 7 yards.
Oh.
But at the same time, he has not been involved as much as they want in that offense if you're Sherman.
Exactly, and it's a long football game, so there's a chance he gets involved. And don't be shocked. But 3rd and 7 from the 16. Clay Batelle, another opportunity to make quick work of this Sherman offense. High snap. Pauly takes it. It's a keeper. And he's going to be stopped way short. It's going to be 4th down. Can't see who made the tackle there. Ponserov was in on it. And that takes it. It's going to be 4th and short from the, well, not even that short, from the 19-yard line. It's still going to be 4th and, they're calling it 4 from the 16-yard line. And again, another quick drive. Sherman forced to punt. That Clay Batelle defense making it known why they are the #1 scoring defense in the entire class. High snap. He gets it off. Not enough pressure to make a difference, but again.
That ought to be maybe inside the 40.
There's probably going to be a flag for some late action. Again, frustration brewing over, this time from Sherman's number 10, Eli Vereen. Pushed down a member of the Seabees late after the whistle, but no flag called. I'm shocked it wasn't that, but Clay Batelle, regardless, is going to have fantastic field position, taking over at the Sherman 43-yard line, 1st and 10, with 5:24 to go in the opening half.
You got an opportunity here if you're the Seabees with 5:24 to just ground and pound it, take it down the field like you were, put it in the end zone, and leave no time left on that clock.
And in a low-scoring game like this, a touchdown here would be huge. Handoff to the left side this time. They flip the formation, and Hall gets a couple. It'll be 2nd and 7.
Because if you're able to get a score here, leave them no time to do anything afterwards. You also, since they took the ball at the beginning of the first, they took it at the beginning of the first half, didn't they? Yes, they did.
Yes.
So we will get the ball back in the second half.
It's a good way to double
up. And, you can double up on them. Next thing you know, the next time they have the ball with any substantial time to do anything, they're down by 3 scores.
Well, we'll see how it works because Sherman still has all 3 timeouts, and it's still 4:50 to go. And Clay Batelle already in Sherman on Sherman's side of the field. It'll be 2nd and 7. You have your 2 receivers to the right. Cohen rolling out. He's looking deep. He almost got it again, and he had him beat. It looked like Ponserov had Lester beat, but it just overthrown and out of bounds. It'll be 3rd and 7 from the 40-yard line. But
Sherman did get pressure around that left side. I thought they were going to hit him from behind. That was the groan you heard out of me. I was scared, but he was able to get rid of the ball in time. But thank goodness he threw it at that time, because if not, he was getting slaughtered from behind.
Well, it's happened twice, once for each team so far, and then you make that the second time it's happened for Clay Batelle, where there's been a rusher come in on the quarterback, and that's the reason Cohen fumbled the ball on that keeper, and then you had the one that ended up burning Sherman earlier.
Would not be surprised to see a run by Corey here. A lot of times, LePeau likes to set up a manageable 4th down.
Oh, and that's a jump. That's an easy free 5 yards after encroachment from the defensive line of the Sherman Tide. I can't remember who eventually jumped. We'll see what the call.
That was 54 on that for Sherman.
So that'll be Connor Lovejoy, the guilty party. Encroachment on Sherman, so that's going to set up 3rd and short in a crucial time. That's the worst, one of the worst possible times, other than when it's in distance of a first down. But
the ref said 52. I thought it was 54. So
I think 2 of them jumped at the same time, because I saw one go over and I saw another one start to lean. So if that was the case, Aiden Davis, the guilty party. Regardless, Sherman called for the encroachment. 3rd and 2, handoff up the middle, and he's going to be right at the line to gain. Let's see what they call it. Let's see if they move the chains. Depending on the spot of the ball, looks like it might be a bit short. They're not moving the chains. It's going to be 4th down and very short.
4th down in inches.
I mean, it's within a yard, so 4:14 to go. Clay Batelle staying off. Maybe they can get Sherman to jump again.
They are moving Cameron Mercer over here to the side, outside of Gump. It's definitely coming to the right.
It's a heavy package, and they got him again.
Get him again.
I knew it was coming. 4th and 1, and Sherman jumps again. They are trying to buy it, and the head coach of Sherman is not happy. You can tell Kevin Buzzard in his 5th season is losing it.
He had the headset up, the hat's off.
Just a crucial error, because it looked like they had snuffed out, just for a second, it looked like they had sniffed out what Clay Batelle was going to run. And I think if they ran that play, Sherman was probably going to stop him in the backfield. That said, it doesn't matter because it's a fresh set of downs for the Seabees with 3:56 and counting to go. Now 1st and 10 at the Sherman 28. Again, your receivers, Ponserov and Clovis out on the right side. This pitch to Caleb Hall. He makes a man miss, spins past, and he's going to make something out of nothing. Here comes the flag. See what it is this time. Looks like Clay Batelle's backing up. We'll wait for the official call. Yep, second time they've been called for. It's the second time that Clay Batelle's been called for an illegal block in the back. That sets him behind the chains.
That's going to be 1st and 20 here, it looks like.
Yep, that'll be a 10-yard penalty. I'll move it up to the they'll back it up to the 38-yard line. 3:30 and counting. On the bright side, it's still first down, and it's going to continue to chew the clock because Clay Batelle is going to probably need more time to try and find the end zone or get in scoring position. 1st and 20 at the 38 for the Seabees. And here's the shovel pass. It's going backwards, back to the 41. The entire Sherman Tide brought down Cody Clovis, or at least 5 or 6 of them. And it's going to make it 2nd and forever.
If you're setting yourself up here where maybe you take a couple bombs to the end zone, or at least for a first down.
I was going to say try that, but maybe still rely on the running game because they've gotten holes, and you want to keep the clock moving. You don't want to give Sherman the ball with 2:30 and 3 timeouts. But 2nd and 22, they'll call it. Now spotted just outside the 40-yard line. Clay Batelle trying to add on to its 8-0 lead. Cohen takes the snap, and it's a throw down the middle, and it's picked off. Chase Southern running it backwards. He's got a lot of green grass, and he's he's still going all the way out to the 41-yard line before being tackled. But again, just a second turnover caused by Corey Cohen, who had the fumble earlier, and now the interception. Sherman staying in it with the turnovers. Their defense, who allows a lot of points, has capitalized on several CB errors. That drive was doomed from the start.
It was. It is interesting to see here. We've got Corey now with that INT. It'll be interesting to see how he bounces back from it. He has an INT. He has a fumble. Just needs to keep his head in the game here. But the defense needs to step up big here and make sure we get a stop. We don't need to allow a score here before the half. We do get the ball at the beginning of the second half.
And here's the handoff to Lester, and it is sniffed out. What a tackle by Braden Ponsarov. Caught him in the backfield for a loss. That play was blown up from the start. Ponsarov read it perfectly, and we talked with him before the game. Everyone on this Clay Batelle team knows what Trey Lester brings to the table, and Ponsarov was very vocal about it. And he delivered again.
He did. Took his legs right out of him. He knows you don't need to tackle him up high because he is a strong athlete, definitely for his size. So he said, just take the legs out of the speedy guy, and that'll take him to the ground.
A loss of 3 officially. The ball spotted on their own 39 for the Sherman Tide. 1:42 and counting. They still have all 3 timeouts, but trail by 8. Here's a snap to Pauly. Pauly looking. Trying to find his man. He's got a rush, and it's probably going to end up being an intentional grounding again. There's another flag.
Well, we got a guy back here throwing it.
Yeah, he tried to roll out, and that's the second time if that's what's going to end up being called. It's going to be a loss of down and a penalty.
And we got a guy back here in the far left field judge calling something too.
Yeah, it was
way, way late.
Yeah, but regardless, it's going to be a loss of down and backing up Sherman a way while with 1:32 to go in this half.
Referee's coming over to talk to LePeau here. It may be 2 penalties. And which one do you want?
Again, Sherman, if they could fix the penalties, would be a lot more impressive on this, but we'll see what this is called. Oh, they declined the illegal man downfield, but intentional grounding is going to get the loss of down. That'll move it back. It'll be 3rd and 18 now from the 34-yard line. Or excuse me, that backs it way back up because it's a spot foul on top of it. So it's now at the 19-yard line, 3rd and 18, 1:32 to go. Again, Clay Batelle has a chance to try and get this ball back with one timeout. 3rd and 32, excuse me. They finally added on the scoreboard. 3rd and 32, forever, just a keeper from Pauley. Or no, it's going to be Lester, and he gets a block. Oh, and he finally is brought down, but that looked like it might have blown up for Clay Batelle. Regardless, 11 yards isn't going to do much. And we'll call it 10 yards. It's going to be 4th and 22. A minute 22 to go.
You did see his escapability there, though, because he was coming left, went back right, made one guy miss, and there was part of me like, is this where he takes over the game and makes something happen?
I was worried. You could kind of feel it in the air, too. You could feel the crowd being a little worried. But 4th and 22 with 1:16. But Clay Batelle calls the timeout. That might put a few seconds back on. So that'll stop the clock, but Clay Batelle won't have much time to work with when they get the ball back.
Trying to figure out there, though. He went out of bounds.
I think he might have been down before he went out of bounds, though. Okay. He fell out of bounds.
May have called the forward progress down then.
Yeah, because he was struggling over on there with the CB defenders.
It's definitely a benefit to Sherman, though, to have the CBs have to use that last timeout, stop the clock. But, you know, at this point in time, you maybe ask Ponceroff to come up a little bit because you want a return on this punt, see if we can get something happen. If you can get a return, get inside Sherman's, their side of the field, gives you a chance to throw a couple Hail Marys down there and see what happens, even though, as we've talked, Sherman has some great athletes in that secondary, and number 1 proved that last time.
Absolutely. So the clock hasn't been changed. So as it stands, it will be 4th and now 23. They moved it from 22 to 23. Ball spotted at the 29-yard line as it stands. 1:16 to go. Clay Batelle forcing another Sherman punt. Again, both of these teams have made mistakes that have kept this game close, because it seems like there have been times where Clay Batelle has really dominated this game, but turnovers have shaved off point opportunities for the CBs. In the meantime, here comes the 4th down punt, as Sherman's had to punt it away several times today. Line set with 10 seconds on the play clock. They've had high snap issues, but it's still controlled in, almost blocked, but a nice little bouncer to the 35 and now inside the 34-yard line with 1:06 to go. That's where Clay Batelle will take over and try and get a last gasp offensively to try and add on to the lead before going into the break. We talked about it, a chance to double up. What could this mean in such a tight game, too, having a chance to double up?
I mean, it's really huge right here, because that would give you a 3-score lead if you were able to make something happen. It is the question, if you're LePau, are you happy being up 8-0, getting the ball in the second half, or do you want to try to make something happen here?
So here we go. Likely the final drive of the half. Here's the handoff. Snodgrass. Snodgrass wrapped up. No timeouts. I wonder if they'll try not to, with all the turnovers, if they just try to play it conservative and just take this lead into halftime since you get the ball back. It's a long field to go with 50 seconds and counting. I don't know if they want to risk a 3rd turnover.
Yeah, you'd had a couple bad punts. I think LePau was just kind of hoping for the same. When he didn't get the bad punt, he's like, let's just go into halftime.
Well, now Sherman's going to call a timeout and force them to try and make some moves.
I was a little bit late on trying to force. I mean, you still got 2nd and 3rd down here to run the ball. But, I mean, they do have, they have 2 other timeouts. They can force you into 4th down if they want.
Correction, that's Sherman's first timeout.
But that is one of them to me. I run Hall to the outside like he's been. He has been just that close to breaking one. This is one of them timeouts. If you're Sherman, you may end up regretting if you end up getting a small run here and be able to set up with a quick no-huddle play and throw it deep. So it'll be interesting to see what they do decide to run.
So a lot to be discussed in these final 39 seconds. Again, if you're just joining us here on WAJR.com, Clay Batelle leads 8-0 over Sherman in a top 6 matchup. The lower ranked team has the home field advantage and the advantage on the scoreboard, 8-0. They have it 2nd and 10 at their own 35-yard line. Sherman took its first time out. And the difference in the game was the 57-yard touchdown pass to break from Corey Cohen
to Cody Clovis.
Yep, to Cody Clovis. Had to
help you out a little bit there.
Hey, I'm not Ethan Collins. If it was Ethan, you could pick on him. He can still pick on me, too. Here's the snap. Cohen passes it over to Poncerov, a bit of a shovel, and now he's trying to redirect, and he's got a hole all the way out to the 48-yard line. It did take off almost 10 seconds of clock, but he did get out of bounds in time. 31.2 seconds to go, and now does it shift? Oh, there's another. Are they calling a timeout? I thought the clock was stopped.
Maybe we're setting the clock to a time. He did clearly run out of bounds, so
yeah,
should stop.
Please reset the game clock to 31.3.
Okay, that sounds about right because it did stop at 31.3. And that gives a little bit, especially in a situation like this, 2 seconds can make a world of difference. 1st and 10 at the 48, and Chance, you got to wonder, does that big gain and time put back on the clock change the way you look at this half? But we'll find out right now. Receivers are set. Here goes Cohen dropping back. He's rolling out, killing a lot of time. And there's going to be a holding penalty all day long. The Sherman defensive lineman threw his hands up in the air. He was getting plenty of jersey. That will back up Clay Batelle.
We talked about that, though, on film as you watch them. There's times they're getting held, which that one was there.
That was.
But there is times they're not getting held, but their coaches have taught them just throw your hands in the air like you're frustrated. And we've seen them get penalties for holding just by doing that, but that one there was a hold.
Yeah, that was
that one. You can't complain on that one at all.
No. He didn't even throw the arms up until about 3 seconds after the initial contact. So that'll back it up 10. It'll be 1st and 20, and it still took 9 seconds off the clock. So now 22.3 seconds to go. 1st and 20 for the Seabees. And substitution, they bring out Colt Sandy, steps out back onto the sideline. And that will put Clovis and Poncerov out to the right. Here goes Cohen dropping back. He's got pressure coming toward him. And he's still shaking people. Oh, my gosh, he's shook about 3 of them. And he's finally brought down. The ball's out. Ball is out and recovered by Sherman. Oh, what a play. And he's still going. It did drive off a lot of clock, but wow. A third CB turnover with 5 seconds to go. And on the recovery, Bryce Mooney was the member of the Sherman Tide that finally picked up. There is a Tide player down. Again, you can hear some
Corey's dad is letting him know that there needs to be 2 hands on the ball at all times. And I can't blame him. I mean, there's frustration there on our point up here, too. We know they're young kids, but he was making a play. Once again, unbelievable run, almost like he had against Cameron when he almost broke one and then ended up fumbling at the end of it. We do have, what did we say, is that number 1 down? I think that's injured player.
Can't tell from here, but
I'm being told by the defending post guy beside me it is number 1.
Okay, so that is Chase Southern, who's had several big plays defensively. You don't want to lose him. I hope he's all right. In the meantime, Sherman will take over 1st and 10. They still have a long field. They have 2 timeouts to work with, but only 5 seconds. And, again, we'll have the halftime show coming up. The halftime report by Patton Building Services. We'll break down some stats. We'll talk about some halftime scores, possibly. A lot of our action was taken up. Luckily, Chase Southern is being helped off, so hopefully he's all right.
I think if you're Sherman here, you just take a knee and go in. I mean, that's how I feel, but at the same time, you do have Trey Lester. Maybe you throw one up and see what he can do, but you got to figure the CBs are going to be in a pretty big prevent defense here and not allow anything over the top. But you see weird things happen at times.
You do, and in a game like this where Clay Batelle's turned the ball over 3 times and Sherman's turned the ball over, you got to wonder, there's nothing safe here. It's 5 seconds to go. 1st and 10 at the 36 for Sherman. A last gasp before we go to the break. Here goes Pauly. He's rolling out. It's just going to be a deep shot if he can even get, but he's got pressure coming. There goes the buzzer, but he's going to have a chance. A nice throw downfield, and it's caught by Sherman's number 6, and it's brought down the 12-yard line, so a prevent, but Poncerov did get burned, and that was Colby Atkins who made the catch. Regardless, 8-0 is your halftime score after a back-and-forth slugfest between the Sherman Tide and the Clay Batelle Seabees. We'll have the halftime show coming up right after this, so stay with us on WAJR.com.
Leaky faucet? Clogged drain? Water heater not keeping up? Josh Heinerman here with Advanced HVAC and Plumbing, where we do more than just HVAC. We are your local plumbing pros. From quick repairs to complete replacements, our licensed plumbers can handle it all. Faucets, toilets, water heaters, sump pumps, and more. We do it fast, clean, and right the first time. From drips to disasters, we've got you covered. Advanced HVAC and Plumbing.
Health works for you, for rehab and fitness too.
Keeping high school athletes healthy is something that HealthWorks Rehab and Fitness takes great pride in. That's why our certified athletic trainers work with many area schools during practice and on the sidelines during tonight's game. Unfortunately, injuries do happen in sports, at work, and at home. At HealthWorks, our goal remains the same, to get you back in action. When you need physical therapy, you need HealthWorks. HealthWorks Rehab and Fitness, Morgantown, Westover, Cheat Lake, Blacksville, Smithfield, Waynesburg, Fairmont, and Buchanan. When your body hurts, go to HealthWorks.
Our people make the difference in the way you feel each day. When your body hurts, go to HealthWorks.
Once upon a time, there were no portable toilets, and finding relief was an adventure. Then came crowded restrooms, unpleasant and inconvenient. Enter Saving Grace Septic and Rentals, providing clean, reliable portable toilets for every event, from football games to family gatherings, even work sites. And when septic systems need service, we're your first call. We're local, we care, and we're there when you need to go. For comfort and convenience, we're your saving grace. 304-282-7210.
In a world where memories fade, preserving them shouldn't. I'm Rob Lang, fifth-generation owner of Lang Monument. My family has been helping Morgantown families honor their loved ones for over 150 years. Choose from granite, marble, or bronze with expert engraving and installation. A Lang member will guide you every step of the way. Celebrate a legacy that stands the test of time. Lang Monument on Don Knotts Boulevard across from the Wharf District and online at langmonument.com.
Now back to the Mon Health System halftime report on WHAR.
And we welcome you back to Blacksville. It is halftime between the Sherman Tide and the Clay Batelle Seabees. Again, your halftime report brought to you by Patton Building Services. From janitorial to general building maintenance, Patton Building Services believes clean environments build better business. We don't just maintain buildings, we maintain communities. Online at pattonbuildingservices.com. Again, your halftime report. We'll go ahead and break down some scores, but we'll start with the big score that matters. Clay Batelle leads 8-0 in an absolute slugfest out in Blacksville on a Saturday afternoon. Again, if you're just joining us, Johnathan Edwards filling in for Ethan Collins today, joined by Chance Collins. Again, we've had a fantastic game. He'll have some stats here in a little bit. But it's time for our halftime scoreboard update, which most of these games, if not all of them, have went final. It is Saturday afternoon, so it's time for the Saving Grace Septic and Rentals halftime scoreboard update. Saving Grace Septic and Rentals providing clean, reliable, portable toilets for every event. And when septic systems need service, we're your first call. We're local, we care, and we're there when you need to go. 304-282-72110. Again, that's 304-282-72110. I'll do it one more time because I messed it up. 304-282-72110. And that brings us to our scoreboard. We'll start in Class Quad A. Number 1, Huntington, went down to Sevier County, down to Gatlinburg, or somewhere around there, because Sevier County, Tennessee beat them 42-26. Huntington drops to 6-2 on the year. Martinsburg blanked Spring Mills in a rematch of the Class A state title game, 42-0. That was the Metro News Class Quad A game of the week. Again, number 4, Wheeling Park fell to Steubenville, Ohio, 38-7. University picked up a big win over Preston, who's been struggling this year. They're 1-7. University moves to 7-2 after the 49-13 win. Jefferson gets the win at home against Musselman in a number 9 versus number 11 matchup, 39-14. Jefferson takes the win as one of our games to pick on the pregame show if you listened. Lindsley Cadets came from out of town. They were 1-5 before this game. Came in and beat Parkersburg South 31-14. South really struggled offensively in that game. Cabell Midland again put up 41 points but fell 56-41 to Fairview Park, Ohio. That wraps up your Quad A scores. We'll move over to AAA now. Princeton and Independence, a barn burner between, well, Independence was 7-1, Princeton 8-0. Princeton pulled away late, 42-30. Bridgeport blanked Grafton to no surprise, 49-0. Bridgeport stays undefeated. Fairmont Senior picked up the 42-7 win over out-of-state Connellsville, PA, and Connellsville has struggled against the West Virginia teams this year. Bluefield picked up the win at Greenbrier East in an absolute bit of a shocker, honestly. But Bluefield, the upper seed, but a double-A team, 27-13 the final there, Bluefield over Greenbrier East. Philip Barber dominated Lewis County. Lewis County's been struggling all year long, 48-15 in favor of Philip Barber. Capital pulled away late in the second half to dominate Capital 30-7 and battled the capital city. North Marion, that 1-point win over Robert C. Byrd in a barn burner of a game. Nitro pulled away late in what was actually a pretty solid game between Nitro and Winfield. 39-28, Nitro took the win. Spring Valley gets the 1-point win over Woodrow Wilson. 29-28, Spring Valley, the AAA affiliate of the two, takes the 1-point win. Parkersburg, 56-21 over a struggling Ripley squad. Kaiser picks up the 55-21 win over Moorfield, double-A team. Oak Hill blanked South Charleston 41-0. Elkins picked up a 31-7 win. Hampshire blanked Washington 41-0. Fairfield Union, Ohio murdered John Marshall 50-14. Shady Spring picked up the 12-7 win over Berkeley Springs, and Fort Fry, Ohio dominated Point Pleasant 46-14. That brings us to double-A. We got 14 minutes until time to go back into game action here. Frankfort in what was an absolute classic of a game, 37-25 over Herbert Hoover. Frankfort stays undefeated, a 23-game winning streak. They are an absolute wagon right now. Dodgers County 40-26 over Williamstown. Dodgers County remains perfect. Mingo Central still perfect, 49-14 over Lincoln County. Midland Trail 50-13 over Liberty Raleigh. Roane County 38-12 over Nicholas County. Chapmanville, a shocker. We were talking about this chance. Chapmanville beat Logan. Logan drops its second straight game, 42-7. James Monroe over Westside, 34-18. Clay County blanked Ravenswood, 41-0. Oak Glen, a big win over East Liverpool, Ohio, 34-22. Scott dominated Man, 47-6. Lincoln, a 3-point win over Buchanan Upshur, 35-32. A 1-point win for Braxton County over Pikeview, 27-26. South Harrison, 22-14 over Tyler Consolidated. South Harrison breaks its losing streak. Sissonville picks up a tight win, 22-18 over Polka. Grundy, Virginia, picked up a high-flying affair over Riverview, 56-44. Wyoming East keeps Summers County winless, 25-8. And Albert Gallatin, PA, dominated Weir, 34-6. And finally, in Class A, we've got it going on right now, 8-0 Clay Batelle. But Wahama put up 55 in the first half, beat Webster County 63-14. Wheeling Central, 48-20 over Brashear, PA. Tug Valley, 33-14 win over Tulsa. Tulsa hanging in there with some big guns, even though their record is a little poor. Pendleton County, 63-44 win in a shootout over Stonewall Jackson, VA. Cameron dominated Bridgeport, Ohio, 53-6. East Hardy, 55-26 over Pocahontas County. Meadow Bridge over Montcalm by 20, 30-12. St. Mary's dominated Ritchie County, 51-16. I'm sure you're happy about that one. Wirt County, 42-6 over Valley Wetzel. Buffalo put up 73 points over Richwood, 73-38. Man, what an offensive performance from Buffalo, a rebuilding program. And finally, Magnolia blanked Mountain View, 22-0. And that is your scoreboard update by Saving Grace Septic and Rentals. And that brings us to our first half stat review, brought to you by First United Bank and Trust. First United Bank and Trust, my bank for life. Online at mybank.com. Chance, we'll turn it over to you for some stats in this first half. Maybe we can talk about, A, the limiting of Trey Lester, and second, how that last play maybe shows a better it maybe makes the Sherman offense look better than it really was.
Yeah, it does. We'll start out with the CBs first, though, on their offensive stats. You've got Corey Cohen, 2 of 5 for 94 yards, a TD, and an interception. He has 4 carries for 50 yards, but 2 fumbles. You turn around on that, you've got Poncer off with a 37-yard catch, Clovis with the 57-yard TD catch. On the ground, Caleb Square. You've got Hall, 6 for 49, Snodgrass, 6 for 22. Time of possession, normally a key stat I keep track of. You've got the CBs at 14 minutes, Sherman at 10. Not as drastic as you would hope for probably if you're the CBs, because you're wanting to run the clock as much as possible. You go over to the Sherman side, they have 49 yards rushing and 49 yards passing. That was 5 yards passing up until that last play before the half. So in most reality, you gave up 54 yards in that first half to Sherman. You're doing an excellent job of shutting them down. You definitely can't allow the guy to get on the backside of you like we did on that last play. I do believe that if I could go back and look at it, Ponceroff was probably keying more on Lester, and that allowed the other guy to get behind him. But at the same time, you never know. That's how good Lester is. You put all your concentrating on him, and then some guy sneaks behind you and gets the score. And, nice to get the chase down there, hold them out of the half, go in at 8-0. You get the ball here in the second half. I feel like last week we didn't keep our foot on the gas against Riverview. And when we didn't keep our foot on the gas, we allowed them back into the game. I believe you got an opportunity right now. They're going to come out fire and brimstone here in this second half. They're going to want to make something happen. Your goal, take it down, put it in the end zone. If you scored on the 2-point conversion, you're now up 2 scores with 2 points after that. We know they got a place kicker.
We saw him warming up today.
You don't want to miss out on that, because if it's 14-0, they can do that. But, if you go up, it puts a lot of pressure on them to have to score, because each time they don't score, it just takes that chance from going 2 possessions to 3. And, 3 possessions in single-A football, you don't see a whole lot of teams come back from that when you make them one-dimensional and have to pass all the time and not be able to run at all. But I kind of feel like that's what the CB's defense done in this first half. They made them one-dimensional. They took the pass away. They're keying on Lester. It looks like they're playing one guy about 8 yards off the line of scrimmage on him, and then they got the safety kind of covering deep. It's been an impressive game so far. I mean, Lester is not – you go to him, he's got 4 carries, 13 yards. He's got 0 receptions. I mean, that is the key to Sherman football, is getting him the ball and letting him make plays. And when you've taken their playmaker and held him to 13 total yards, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing on defense.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure he's probably going to get his chance at some point in the second half. He's too good to not. But we talked all week. If you cut the dragon off at the head, that opens up a lot for the CB's defense to capitalize on. But what I want to turn to now, back on the Clay Batelle side, Corey Cohen had that really good touchdown pass, but he also has several turnovers in this first half. What do you tell him in the locker room to fire him back up? He has all the motivation in the world, but what do you tell him if you're Aaron Lepeau or anyone in that locker room? How are you trying to keep his head up, and how are you trying to get him back into his rhythm?
You just look at him and say, keep being Corey, but Corey, I need you to put 2 hands on the ball. like we can't have the mistakes, because he's driving down the field. He's had excellent runs. He's doing everything right up to the point it's not right. And it's rough on that, his dad screaming at him up here, get 2 hands on the ball, Corey. But it's the truth. It's the frustrating part as a coach on that point. You've taught him all along, like, we want the play, but if the play comes as a result of a fumble, it doesn't matter. So it's better to get a 15-yard run where you got 2 hands on the ball than a 25-yard run that you don't. He was definitely looking to make a bigger play. It was the end of the half. We were rushing, but at the same time, you just can't have that, because as we've seen, you gave Sherman the opportunity. Like, if you do that right there, we're either scoring or the half server, because we're either probably going to throw it down to the end zone, something's going to happen. Chances of them returning it at that point in time are probably a lot slimmer. But you come down here, you gave them the ball in decent field position enough to make a long pass. They almost snuck one in on you, and I wouldn't want to have been in that locker room if Sherman would have scored on that last play of the game.
Yeah.
But you didn't. You held them out. Looks good on the stat sheet for Sherman. But besides that, you've played pretty well a full half. You held them to 54 yards. You kept the best player on Sherman to 13 total yards. You're doing everything right. We should be up by more than 8 points. To me, you just look at the boys and go, listen, if we go out and do the same thing in the second half we done in the first half, if we just minus the turnovers.
No, they can run away with
this. We're going to spread it out. We're going to get a 3-touchdown lead, and we're going to do what we need to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, if you're just tuning in, Clay Batelle holding on to that 8-0 lead. It could have been more. You would think the way this game's been played, it would be 16-0, maybe even 21-0. We got in the red zone several times, and we're only able to capitalize on that one long deep ball, the 57-yarder. And let's talk about that play, because it's been the play of the game so far, because you had Corey Cohen threw the ball short. Looked like it was going to be Trey Lester going in the opposite direction, picking up his 4th interception of the season. Instead, you have a completely different outcome. It's different enough that to where Clay Batelle scores on a 50-yard bomb where he mossed him. I mean, let's be honest. Trey Lester, star of the show for Sherman, maybe not today, but in general. But that's got to be demoralizing to get mossed like that. I mean, he stole it off of his helmet almost, really.
It's a game of inches to a certain extent, and I mean, you got the fingertips on it by Lester, and then Clovis just took the ball away and made the play. To a certain extent, you can say that was a 16-point swing if you take the 2-point conversion into equation on that, because they were going to be going the other way, with it. And I don't think anybody was catching Lester looking at where we were at that point in time. Offensively, the players to catch, because everybody seemed to be more on the middle to the right side of the field. He was catching that on the left. The odds of him not getting 6 out of it, like I said, I really feel was slim to none. But you're looking at that, I mean, it's one play. And then a lot of times in these games, we mentioned playoff atmosphere, everything going on, and sometimes it comes down to that. I do believe both these teams have played a little bit tight, and I think that's where the turnovers and all that's coming in. They know how important this game is. All you got to do is worry about coming out with the W. Right now, if you're Clay Batelle, you've got a little bit of room to breathe. You've got a touchdown and a 2-point conversion before the pressure is really on you. I think you need to come out this second half, drive down the field. I'd prefer to never put the ball in the air and drive down, put it in the end zone, because I think if you do it, it'll demoralize them. Looking at kind of how they were against Tug Valley, I think you can break their back if you're able to get down there, especially if you score the 2-point conversion afterwards. If you do that, and if you do it without passing, they're just going to be like, what do we do at that point in time? You know what I mean? Do you put extra men in the box? If you do, you leave Cody Clovis and Poncer off to just go deep one-on-one with they're athletes. There's no doubt about that. But when you start playing one-on-one, all of a sudden the advantage goes to the offense for sure.
Absolutely. Again, we're nearing the third quarter of action, but I'll tell you what, we've talked about it. We talked about it in the pregame and in our open about how this feels like a playoff game. I'll tell you what, the only thing that could make this feel like more of a playoff game is if we were in Charleston at Laidley Field right now. That is it. Saturday afternoon, mid-50s. Well, this may be a little warmer than that, but you talk about 2 top teams in this division. Both teams have made mistakes. It's low scoring against 2 teams that know how to score, and instead it's 8-0 at halftime. Costly mistakes, and at the end of the day, it's only an 8-point game. It's anyone's ball game. But again, other than it not being in Charleston, this is as close to a playoff game in the regular season you're going to get, especially at the Class A level.
Yeah, and I mean, you've moved the ball on Sherman. You've done what their defense has kind of showed on film, which is giving up points. The only difference is you've moved the ball and not come up with points. That's the reason you're still at an 8-0 game. You just got to come out here and finish the drive. Like, we've had the drives, we just haven't finished them. You got to do that in defense. Just keep doing what you're doing. Like, don't allow the big play. Keep it in front of you and make them drive down the field. And so far they've, it's been proven, at least so far in this first half, they were unable to do that, sustain a drive on you. And I believe if you can keep that up, you're going to walk away here with the win. I don't know if it's going to be 8-0 or if it's going to be something else. I do feel that, like, sooner or later, I feel like Lester's going to break something. And it's also one of them reasons I don't want to put the ball in the air right off the bat here. I want to run. I want to show the massive size advantage I got on that line and drive it down and put it in here. They are starting to stretch, so we're not that far away from the second half kickoff.
Yeah, we are a minute and a half from. Do they do? I haven't been to a game here. Do they do the 3 minutes after this clock goes off of them?
They do.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So with that, we'll step aside for a quick 1 minute break, and when we come back, it'll be third quarter action from Blacksville. 8-0 your score, and this has been the halftime report brought to you by Patton Building Services. We'll be back after this.
Z-Bart is your local expert for automotive appearance and protection products and services. And now, Z-Bart can apply the ceramic Z-Gloss paint coating to your vehicle for a shine that never goes away. No more waxing. No more rubbing. No more settling for a less than perfect finish. No more. Z-Bart's ceramic Z-Gloss is a 3-layer coating that preserves your vehicle's incredible shine. Get the glossy details online at zbart.com. Z-Bart of Morgantown, just off I-68 exit 7, Fort Pierpont Plaza.
This is Clay Batelle High CB's football on WAJR.
It's time for the third quarter here in about 3 minutes at Clay Batelle High School. An 8-0 lead for the hometown Seabees over the Sherman Tide. Again, if you're just joining us, we just wrapped up our halftime show. And a fantastic slugfest of a game between two powerhouses at the Class A level. Both teams 6-1, searching for their 7th win of the season, respectively. If you're just joining us, I'm Johnathan Edwards, filling in for Ethan Collins today on Play-by-Play. What a pleasure it's been to be with you on WAJR.com. I'm joined by Chance Collins. Great analysis at the half, as always, and it's been an awesome half of football to call with you. And we have about 3 minutes of stretches and whatnot to get ready, but we'll reset here. We know you did your pregame keys to the game, but let's do one for each team right now. What are your keys to the game, both for Sherman and for Clay Batelle? Start with Sherman.
Sherman, you've got to find a way to get Lester involved on offense. The CBs are shutting them down. If you can't get him involved, you've got to find that second person to make a play. I don't know who that is. If it's Paulie, your quarterback, if it's number one that has had a decent game, I just feel like you got to find a way to get Trey Sherman involved. Or was it Trey Lester? Trey Lester, my bad. Trey Lester involved in the game. Going to the CB side, stop the turnovers. Do what you're doing. You're doing a wonderful job as far as things go. I don't think you need to change a whole lot except just not turning the ball over. I'm looking at it right here real quick. I had Sherman down with 99 total yards of offense in the first half. I just figured up the CBs, and it's 226. You have doubled them, almost 2.25 yards for every yard. If you're doing that, you're doing something right. You don't need to change a whole lot except just don't turn the ball over.
All right, well, that tells you a lot because those turnovers are the difference in this not being a Clay Batelle blowout right now, or at least a distinct advantage. Again, this is a Sherman offense that averages over 34 points a game, and they have a goose egg at half. And also, if you want to talk stats for a second, that offense averages 420 yards a game through its first 7 games, and coming off a bye week. And they have less than 100, and 50 of those came on the final play of the game, or final play of the half, excuse me.
Yep. And you look at that, too. You got to remember they are coming off a bye week, so they may have just worked some rust off. They may look a little bit more gelled up and oiled up here as they come out in this second half. You can't take nothing for granted if you're the CBs. You definitely want to put some points on the board to open up this second half.
Absolutely. Again, we are less than a minute away now from third quarter action. Again, Clay Batelle holding on to an 8-0 lead. They do get the ball to start the second half, which they didn't get to double up like we talked about in the second quarter. But, again, they can pick up where they left off, and if they can eliminate mistakes, they can take advantage of Sherman, who has shown, they've been pretty adamant about their displeasure at times. They've shown their frustration. They are a very animated squad, which isn't always a bad thing. Again, we've talked about this. But if it boils over, that can be an issue for the Tide. And it's happened before this season. It happened in the Tug Valley game. It's happened in wins.
And it's one of them right now. I kind of feel like the CBs, it's like when you're making that mac and cheese at home and you start seeing them first couple bubbles. It's there. Let's go down, put it in, and let's make the pot start boiling over where you got to put a lid on top of it to contain it.
All righty, we are lined up. Sherman is lined up to kick the ball away. And kicking the ball is Elliot Hanna. We haven't had a chance to say his name much today. He can kick, that's for sure. And that's a nice kick to about the 16-yard line. It's going to be returnable, and it is out to the 30 already. And cutting back, he's going past the 35. That's Cody Clovis, and he goes backwards a little bit at the end, but still a good return out to just shy of the 35-yard line where they'll set up shop.
Nice return there.
And it took off 11 seconds. It felt a lot longer. That was a really long return. He weaved in and out. I want to know what the total yardage would be by the time he ran.
Ran around it.
Yeah, I know. It's probably a 60-yard return to go, 20 yards?
Yep. I'd say you're about right. Come over here and started across the field. He got 3/4 of the way before he went down.
And then he went back, yeah. So 1st and 10 at the 34 for the first play from scrimmage of the second half. Going back to that familiar setup with two receivers out to the right. Cohen takes it and hands it off up the middle and met at the line. And there goes a flag late. You heard the clash of the helmets. And a member of the Tide is down.
I believe the guy who was down got hit by his own player. I think 40 took him out.
And the man on the field was Connor Lovejoy. And he's slow to get up, but he's all right shaking it off. He took a crack. You could hear.
The safety of the players is paramount here.
He gets called for the incidental face mask. And that'll be a 5-yard penalty against Sherman. So a double negative, really, for the Tide. You get called for the penalty, and he's the one that takes the brunt of the hit from his own player.
Yeah, I feel he needs to be on the sideline being checked for a concussion myself. But
yeah, you could hear the crack of the helmet up here, and I know we said that, but, you could hear it up in the press box. So
I'll tell you this, though. I'm running right at him this play.
If they're not going to take him out, take advantage of it if you're Clay Batelle. So it's going to be first and 2 from the 42-yard line. Handoff off the right side, and there's going to be a holding bringing it back. For the meantime, though, there goes Caleb Hall up to midfield. 2 flags came out at the same time. Pretty obvious holding on the Clay Batelle line. That's how he was able to break through. Again, the mistakes are piling up for both teams.
We've got 5 penalties. They've got 5 penalties. I will say this. The majority, I think 4 out of 5 of theirs have been for 5 yards. Mm-hmm. I believe all 5 of ours have been for 10 yards. And they've been drive killers at times.
They have been. Now, luckily, you had 1st and 2 thanks to that incidental face mask on the play before. But it's still 1st and 12. So, at the end of the day, not the biggest setback. But, again, these are happening early in drives, and it's been a real setback in the long term. So, 1st and 12 from 32 in the opening minute of the third quarter, and that's going to be a false start.
Cameron Mercer there, I think he just fell off bounds. I don't even think he meant to jump. I think he just lost his stance and went.
Yeah, there was a man in motion, and Mercer tilted back a little bit. It was too much for him to save, so now we 1st and 17 with 11:06 to go and counting.
I'll tell you this, Sherman's been awful aggressive as far as on this run. I'm really beginning to wonder. We've been really successful at screens this year. Mm-hmm. And I think right about this point in time right here may be a good time to run one of those.
Especially on that right side that you've been gouging. If you're Clay Batelle, you've gashed that side. He rolls to the left instead. Cohen looking for a man. And a bullet pass. What a nice throw to gain back some yardage. He makes it out to their own 43-yard line. And that makes up some ground.
That does. Nice 10-yard catch by Huggins there on the reception. And, I said, take what the defense gives you. If they want to take Poncer off deep, take the 10-yard pattern right there and take it. It maybe even been a little bit more there. Maybe I misjudged that. But
no, I think that's pretty accurate. We'll see what the official spot is. They mark it at the 38-yard line for now. 2nd and 6. That gains back 11. Cohen rolling out. He's got pressure, but stopped up and almost intercepted. That was thrown right into the hands of Parker Platt of the Sherman Tide, and he dropped it. So it will now be 3rd and 6 from the 38-yard line for the Clay Batelle offense. And that's just a misread from Cohen. He had some pressure coming in from the backside, but he threw that screen, and I just don't think he placed it right. And props to Parker Platt. He did read it very well. And that's a play that Clay Batelle has liked on film this season. And just didn't pan out. So 3rd and manageable. 10 minutes to go. Clock is stopped due to the incompletion. But, again, early era of the third quarter. And that's offsides. That's going to give them 3rd and 1. Again, these pre-snap penalties are killing Sherman. They could easily get off the field, and it'll be 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7. They'll instantly make it 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 1. And they're calling it false start. For now, they're calling it against Clay Batelle, which I think that's a poor call. Nathaniel Pratt fell. They are calling it false start. They're calling it against Colt Sandy. I don't agree with that call whatsoever. Chance, what's your take on it?
I didn't see Sandy, so I really can't make it, but I find it hard to believe when a guy is falling forward and it takes him a couple seconds to fall forward where you can call it on the offense, but that's just me. But at the same time, we'll see it in film at the end of the week. But if you're the Seabees, it's 3rd and 11. You got to make something happen.
It's just frustrating at that point. So 3rd and 11 now instead of 3rd and 1. Cohen throws it, and it's dropped by Cooper Payton. That will force a punt.
Payton is incomplete.
The bad part about this, you're going to be punting, and you may be giving Sherman really, really good field position.
And this is where special teams comes into effect. You need a good kick to pin Sherman back. Now, again, this is high school, especially Class A. You're not going to get a big booming kick very often, but if there was ever time for one, it's time for plug and play to make a play. And he boots it, and he got a pretty decent one. It takes a Sherman bounce, but it's stopped up by Trey Huggins, and Sherman will take over at the 35-yard line. So not the worst field position for either side, really. You get a nice kick from plug and play, and you get okay field position from Sherman.
Yeah, you got him down to the 35. That's nothing more than like a kick out of bounds on, a regular kickoff. That's where you want them to be. At least they got to drive the field on you. Now it's just time to get back to business and start making the plays on defense that you are. And you got to get it back in your offense hands and cut the stupid penalties out of the way is the way I'll word it. I feel like we're killing ourselves right now.
And both teams are making pre-snap mistakes and holdings that are killing them. And there is a run, and there's no flag for hold, but he heard some fans not happy about that. Levi Sprouse back in the game after he was banged up earlier. He did come back in after being banged up, but now he made his presence known with a sizable gain.
I'll say he came back, but he didn't really contribute.
No.
I feel like they took a look at him at halftime, and they feel like he's ready to contribute again, and they're coming out. So
they're going to ease him back into this game plan. So 2nd and medium from the 40, 2nd and 6 to be exact. There's the snap, and there he goes again. He's going to push for the first down. Once again, Levi Sprouse starting to chug along. He's about 2 yards past the line to gain. Fresh set of downs incoming for the Tide.
Yeah, you're seeing that fiery attitude by Sherman, and right now it's working as a positive for them. You look over here at Clay Batelle, we got a lot of hands on the hips, and that's something you don't want to see. You feel like the tide is starting to turn as much as I want to use it.
There you go. It's 1st and 10 at the 47 for the Tide. Got a heavy front for Clay Batelle. Here's the run up the middle again. Gets through a hole, and the ball's out. That's ball out, and that's going to go in Clay Batelle's favor.
I believe it's Cooper Payton with it. I believe it's Cooper Payton with the recovery.
And
there
Cooper
it is.
Payton has it. Celebrating accordingly. They're going to take over, and that's the big play you needed from that defense. They got the shutout, but now they have the turnover to turn the tide. As you said, we can finally use it in Clay Batelle's favor. Turns the tide against the Tide. 8-0. Clay Batelle leads and has the ball back in fantastic field position, just shy of midfield.
Yeah, I just felt like we needed something to happen there. The life of our team was starting to fall apart. It's nice to see we get now. Let's find a way to not create penalties on our end. Honestly, I feel like we're averaging 3-4 yards a carry. We just need to. That's all you got to do.
Cohen sets up shop and hands it off to the right side, which burned Sherman earlier, and there's no holding call this time. He gets out to midfield. That's going to be a 5-yard carry. Once again, this time it's from Caleb Snodgrass, who has taken a bit of a backseat to Hall today, but, which he usually does anyways, Hall does take the majority of carries. Not by much, but he does. This time Snodgrass gets back involved and moves it to midfield. Again, another 2nd medium for Clay Batelle. The Seabees go back into formation. They have one receiver on each side this time. Here's the keeper from Cohen, who gets close to the first down marker. He's going to be about a yard shy and bring up 3rd and short. Under 8 minutes to go in this third quarter.
He was carrying it with one arm again.
He's got to fix that.
I feel like I heard somebody in the stands holler at him about it. Yep, you need to, especially in them early yards. You know what I mean? Once you get past in that second level, sometimes you can let go of it. But them early yards, you need to have both hands on the ball.
3rd and 2 now for the Seabees. Ball spotted at the 47. Another keeper for Cohen. He's trucking people, showing his physicality, and he's pushing the pile. Clay Batelle still piling. There's no whistle up until the 38-yard line. A gain of almost 9 yards before they bring him down.
They're getting him back here at the 38. I don't know how. He lands over here. He never stopped going forward. That is ridiculous.
They marked him just a yard short. So,
showing my emotions there, Jonathan. I apologize, but the pile was being pushed forward. It was an early whistle. The pile falls forward. He should have gotten at least another 5 yards, in my opinion. But I tell you what, that's hit stick Corey for you. That's the type of thing gets Corey clicking here. If you've been to the Seabees game before, so let's see if he's able to follow it up with something.
And they're stacking the box on the Sherman defense because Cohen's running again, but he still gets some yards before finally being brought down. Makes up some of that time. And Sherman ganging up on him to bring him down.
Still 5 yards on the carry, but somebody on that sideline needs to talk to him about how he's carrying that ball. I can remember bringing up a good Ethan family connection here. I was with his dad sitting at a St. Mary's playoff game one time, and Craig Eddy kept fumbling the ball, and his dad offered me $20 to take a loaf of Wonder Bread in to school on Monday and hand it to him and say, here, this is how you carry the football.
Again, Sherman stacking the box because it's an obvious run, and here comes Hall, and it's, oh my gosh, he took a hit stick, and there's a flag. For the time being, it was a collaboration from Bryce Mooney and Dawson Green, who hasn't had his name called much so far this afternoon.
They read that, though. They knew what that play was. What do we got here, though? We got a flag. They're talking to Sherman. That's normally not a good sign of ours.
Incidental face mask on the defense.
Okay.
Oh, my bad.
That'll make it 3rd and 1 after the 5-yard penalty. Again, he took an absolute shellacking. Caleb Hall did. That was Hall on the carry.
That was Caleb.
Okay, yes. Okay, I wanted to make sure.
Caleb Hall on the carry. Sometimes you need to keep an eye on that. Sometimes Caleb gets hit. He's a little bit more of a fragile tailback, but he bounced up pretty quickly, so I'm hoping we still see the same one here.
That ended up being enough for the first down, so 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line after the incidental face mask against Sherman. Here comes the pitch, this time to the left side. There goes Hall. Hall has an opening. He gets past the crease, and he sheds another tackle. Here's a flag. Let's see what it is.
I am interested to see what this is because I'll be honest with you, there wasn't a CB player touching anybody else.
No,
at the time that flag came out.
I think that might be against Sherman. But for the time being, the ball spotted at the 16-yard line, a 13-yard carry. No indication yet.
It's a 13-yard carry by Caleb if it stays.
That's the 3rd time today Clay Batelle is caught for an illegal block in the back.
I'm telling you right now, Jonathan, when that flag came out, there wasn't a CB's player touching anybody.
I don't know where that comes from because the judge that called it was at the marker. He was far away from the backfield, and I don't know where he saw that. But, again, we're not here to criticize. And even if we are going to criticize, that's up to you, Chance. That's your job.
Well, I'm not supposed to either, but I just
you have more skin in the game than I do.
But there was nobody touching anybody. I just don't know how that one gets called. I mean, I feel overall they've done a good job of calling the game, but I feel like maybe they missed that one.
Yeah, 1st and 11 now from the 30-yard line. Cohen on the keeper to the right side, cuts back in, and he's still falling forward, holds on to the ball to the 21-yard line. He kept falling forward. He fell forward those final 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah, that puts him over 75 yards with 76 on 9 carries. And you see, Corey just don't go down easy. Like, if you're going to come in and hit him, he's going to keep moving forward.
So over 76 yards rushing now for the quarterback who, again, a bit of a dual threat. coming into today, 365 yards rushing for the junior. That sets up 2nd and 3 from the 22-yard line after the 8-yard carry. Cohen looking. He's going to the end zone. That's going to be intercepted in the end zone. Let's see who made it, and it was just short again. This time, that's Eli Pauley, his 7th pick of the year. He was intended for Trey Huggins, and he just threw it short. It was a jump ball, and this time it goes in favor of the Sherman Tide. 4th Clay Batelle turnover today, and I believe it's the 2nd or 3rd that's come in the red zone.
Yeah, you've just got that point that you're running. If it's working, you don't change. I mean, ask Bridgeport.
Yeah.
And there's a reason that they keep running state titles off, because they can run it and they don't worry about passing the ball. And when they do, it always works because you're not expecting it at all.
Again, Eli Pauley in on the interception, his 7th of the season, which extends his lead in the team category for the Tide's defense. 4:25 to go. Clay Batelle holding on to an 8-0 lead. Here's the handoff up the middle, and he's trucked by Ponsarov, who made a fantastic tackle. And that was Sprouse on the carry.
Still.
It could have been more. Let's see what the officials are discussing.
Official timeout for an offensive player injury.
Okay, so a member of the Tide is clocking out, and there goes Sprouse. He's the one checking out.
I got a feeling he may have some blood on the jersey, how they called that a little bit later there. He may have to go and get it cleaned off.
That might be it, but this is the second time he's had some either an injury scare necessarily. This time he wasn't flailing on the field in pain, but if there's blood on the jersey, then understandably so. He's being taken out. He might come back soon. 2 receivers out to the right for the Tide. Pauley takes the snap after his interception, and that one's read by the fullback, and he's trucking through the Clay Batelle defense, and you can hear the Sherman faithful come alive in this game. It's not over yet. On the carry, that was Dawson Green, who is their main guy defensively, and he was like a bowling ball running through there.
You can see their coaching staff's getting behind them. They're screaming and yelling. The emotion is there for them. They want this game. And if you're Clay Batelle, you're going to have to take it from them. They're not going to give it to you.
No.
And making mistakes like we are, we're trying to give it to them.
See, this is why I talked about the emotion having, it's both sides to the level. Because, Sherman makes emotional mistakes, but you can tell it's starting to take their advantage. Here's the Green carry again, and he's just plowing through people. And this time up to the 39-yard line.
I will say this. They may not want to get too happy with that because he's carrying that ball loosely, and I think if they keep it up, I think one of our big players is going to get a good hit on there, and we're going to get a fumble off of it. But we're looking now at 2nd and 4, just under 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Getting some substitutions. Bragg and Mercer coming out. Gump coming in. Looks like Tyler Sleeth coming in at cornerback.
A bit of a heavier front this time for Clay Batelle's defensive line. They back off. Here goes Green again. They know what they're looking for. Man, he's just flying through people.
Got a flag.
Here's a flag. It's probably going to be holding.
Let's hope we finally get a holding penalty here. It's 12-yard run if not.
And Dawson Green, who's been the bell cow on this drive, is a little hobbled up. He's limping. We'll wait for the call from the official. And so Sherman finally, it looked like Sherman was finally going to get called for an illegal block in the back. One thing that's killed the CB's offense all day, and there's no foul for it.
The Sherman sideline hollered, "That's not your call," and it seems like they got the call by hollering that. CB's got to step up here, make a play. We've been here last time. This is about where they were when they got a fumble.
Correct. So at the CB's 49, Sherman has a fresh set of downs. Handoff, and Sprouse is back in the game, and he punctures through the CB's defense. Again, the top-scoring defense in Class A starting to struggle a little bit against this running attack from Sherman. And again, in a game like this where it's 8-0, something like that can change the game as we're under 2 minutes in a fast-moving third quarter.
But this is one of them right now. They're starting to build the run, and you got to watch for that bomb to Lester.
You got to wait for you got to keep an eye on Lester. 2 receivers out to the left. Hand off to Sprouse the other way. He had him. Oh! Trucked. Oh! Poncerov laid it.
No, that was Cooper Statler.
Well, Cooper Statler was the main one in there. Poncerov also in to finish the deal. But Cooper Statler, holy cow.
27's going to feel that one tomorrow, even though he may only be 16, 18 years old. If I felt that, I wasn't getting out of bed tomorrow. I'm probably not the rest of this week.
So 3rd and 2 after the short gain, but, man, he paid the price for it. There's the fake. Paulie's on the roll, and he has to throw it.
There's nobody over there.
Nope. No penalty yet. No penalty flag thrown for a possible intentional ground. I think he got out of the box in time. So 3rd and 2, now 4th and 2 at the 41-yard line. Obviously, this is 4-down territory for the Sherman Tide, who has found their rhythm with the running attack. And now you're going to start to hear the Clay Batelle faithful start to get into this game.
They are. You're starting to hear some noise.
Crowd.
This may be your play of the game right here. This may be crucial.
This is the biggest play since that 57-yard touchdown. That has been the difference. And a timeout is called by Sherman.
Sherman's coach knows it's the play of the game, too.
Rightfully so. So it'll remain 4th and 2 with 1 minute to go. Clay Batelle trying to hold the line in a tight, crucial game in the Class A frame. In Blacksville buzzing on this afternoon. If you're just joining us, man, we've got a good one. I hope you like defense. Combined, 5 turnovers?
I believe that's where we're at now. Yeah, I think
4 for Clay Batelle compared to just 1. And you would think the team that's turned it over 4 times would be trailing, especially in a game of 2 6-1 teams. Not the case today. Sherman has caused 4 turnovers defensively, but a lot of these have been self-inflicted by Clay Batelle. Clay Batelle has beat itself, but the same can be said so far for Sherman. It's been a chess match between Aaron Lepeau and Kevin Buzzard, two skilled coaches with winning records.
Yeah, I believe you're either going to get that big 40 fullback right up the middle here, or you're going to see them take a shot with Lester down the field. They're going to think that defense is going to be playing up for the short yardage play, and they're going to take their kill shot.
So here we go, 4th and 2 from the CB 41, 8-0. Clay Batelle leads it, but Sherman's got it 4th and 2. Here we go. Paulie takes a snap. Dawson Green's going to take it, and he's stopped in the backfield. What a stop.
That is Huggins on the tackle.
Huggy Bear with the stop. Wow. You want to talk about a big statement from a defense right there. Huggy Bear gets it done, and it goes over on downs. Clay Batelle will take over and try yet again to try and make a statement offensively.
Yep, sometimes right now on offense I feel like you just need to get to the point you don't outthink yourself. The run was working. Let's just get back to what was working and get down the field here. Main thing you want to get that run working for is you are 56.9 seconds left to go in the third. You want to get that clock run down.
Absolutely. As we're with 56 seconds left in the third quarter, Clay Batelle takes over up 8-0. And here's a run from Hall. He's barreling through, and he fumbled again, but he might be down. I think he's down.
He ended up recovering it himself. I thought he was down too, but yes, that was once again, that was scary.
Well, you know what they're going to talk about, win or lose, in practice next week.
Yes, I do believe so. I don't know if you're old enough to remember the movie The Program, but they had the guy carry the football to every class, and he said, if somebody else brings this ball back to me, it's going to be a really bad day for you. And I think that's maybe what Lepeau's going to do with everybody on offense, it feels like.
You're going to have to buy more footballs at this point. So in the final 18 seconds and counting, the clock rolling, 2nd and 6 for Clay Batelle. Here's a Cohen keeper. Hold on to the ball, and he does. And that will likely be the final play of this third quarter. And Clay Batelle will have it up 8-0, driving 3rd and 1 when we come back. That's the end of the third quarter. Sherman trying to come back down 8-0, and basically the closest you can get to a playoff game in the middle of October. We'll step aside for a quick break, and we'll have fourth quarter action when we return.
Z-Bart is your local expert for automotive appearance and protection products and services. And now, Z-Bart can apply the ceramic Z-Gloss paint coating to your vehicle for a shine that never goes away. No more waxing, no more rubbing, no more settling for a less than perfect finish. No more. Z-Bart's ceramic Z-Gloss is a 3-layer coating that preserves your vehicle's incredible shine. Get the glossy details online at zbart.com. Z-Bart of Morgantown, just off I-68 exit 7, Fort Pierpont Plaza.
This is Clay Batelle High CB's football on WHAR.
It's fourth quarter action on WHAR.com. I'm Johnathan Edwards, your play-by-play guy for today, filling in for Ethan Collins, joined by Chance Collins. And man, what a barn burner slugfest we have today, whatever you want to call it, barn burner slugfest. I wouldn't call it a shootout. It's 8-0, Clay Batelle in favor over the Sherman Tide in a top 6 matchup in crucial Class A action.
I don't know if you want to call it a Dunkin' Donuts fest because we've got plenty of turnovers going on too. You know, maybe to go in there and eat a little bit of those.
Yeah,
but
call Apple Annie's, man. Not a sponsor. 3rd and 1 from the 48 on the Sherman side, but the Seabees have a chance to convert and really try to put the foot down on this Tide. Here's a Cohen keeper, and he falls forward. That's going to be a first down, depending on the spot of the ball. Right at the spot. That should move the chains, and it does. First down, Seabees.
Yeah, I'm beginning to think it's time. If you're LaPoe, you just run the ball because the clock is your friend. If you can keep that clock moving, score's great, but shortening up the clock, make them have to drive, only have one possession left pretty well if you're Sherman. It's pretty well what's going to happen if you're able to get another first down here on the ground. I feel like you really shorten the game up for them.
Again, it's been a run-heavy afternoon. And a handoff to Snodgrass. There goes Snodgrass. He's wrapped up in the backfield. He had a spin move on, and he fell backwards for a loss of 1.
He was one move away, Johnathan. One move away and nothing but green in front of him. He spun out of that first tackle. If that guy don't trip him up from behind, I think Snodgrass is still running.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. In the meantime, it'll be 2nd and 11 after the 1-yard loss. Sherman wrapped him up in the backfield.
Snodgrass out, Hall in.
It'll be 2nd and 11 for the Seabees. 10:47 and counting here in the fourth quarter of an 8-0 game. Cohen on the keeper, and that's coming back. That's going to be holding. Pretty obvious holding, too. And that'll back it up again.
Beginning to wonder if you don't decline, though. It's still going to be 3rd and 9 if you don't.
It's been a big issue for Clay Batelle this afternoon. This one goes against Cooper Payton, and so it'll still be 2nd down, but moves the ball back. It'll be 2nd and 21 now. They're going backwards. The Seabees have done this all day long, but to their credit, so is Sherman. Both of these teams have made critical mistakes. I'll tell you what, when both of these teams are in the playoffs, that won't fly. Stuff like that and the turnovers are going to kill both of these teams. But this also has that battle-tested feel. You get these mistakes out now. Now you know how to play against a top team like Sherman. Or if you're Sherman, you know how to play against a Clay Batelle team.
It does. It gives you something to look at on film. The emotions, everything.
You have a world of film after this game. Caleb Hall on the keeper. He's making up ground. He's got a man to beat, and there's a flag. But for the moment, he's at the 20. He's at the 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Caleb Hall, probably coming back. In the meantime, it's a touchdown for the Seabees. And you can feel the excitement wash away from the Clay Batelle squad. He had a hole, and it's probably going to be holding.
Offense number 6.
And it's Cooper Payton again. So
I can tell you this, that a lot of times in games like this, I like to say you got to let the boys play. And I really feel like here in this second half, when the kids should be getting a chance to play against each other, that the refs are influencing it too much. We're now up to 9 penalties for Clay Batelle. We've got 6 penalties for Sherman. I think we were 5-5 at the end of the first half. But I'll tell you what, I hit that same play right back here again because he was gone.
Yep. I mean, and I really don't think that holding really made that much of a hole. He just had, like, the clean block was what got him. So in the meantime, it's back to Second forever. 10-11 to go. Clay Batelle holding on to the 8-0 lead. He fakes the screen, and it's intercepted. And going the other way, he saves the touchdown. There's turnover number 5 for the Clay Batelle offense. Intercepted by number 54, Connor Lovejoy, who has made waves for the Sherman Tide. And again, that's just an absolute momentum killer, and you got to just try and keep Cohen's head up after this.
I mean, I feel like I don't know there. I mean, I understand I said the screen worked and everything, but the clock is your friend, and even if you run and punt from there, you're probably giving them back to them with 8 minutes left. Good chance they only get one possession. Now their one possession is going to start at 29.
Yeah, if you're a CB's fan, it's got to be frustrating, but I'm sure you're not as frustrated as the parents and or the coaching staff. Here's a handoff to Sprouse. Sprouse wrapped up by, let's see. The last one in there was Huggy Bear, but let's see. There's about 3 different CBs in on the play. Short gain for the Sherman Tide offense. Sprouse was on the carry.
If your CBs, once again, just tighten up on that defense. You've been playing well. You've shut them out most of the game. Just make the reads, make the tackles. They've not only got to score a touchdown, they've got to score a touchdown and a 2-point conversion in order to tie this game up. And if you keep them out of the end zone here, it may be the game.
We'll see. There's still a lot of ball left. 9:22 and counting to go. 2nd and 7 for the Sherman Tide. Fakes the handoff, and that is blown up. What fantastic coverage from Ponserov. And and it was clean, too. And that was the difference.
It was a bang-bang play.
He waited until the ball was in his hands before he made the play.
And Sherman's head coach is walking that sideline, screaming at the ref, walking away, pulling his head. He wanted interference. Yeah. It was bang-bang, but I'm telling you, that's what he wanted. I don't know. I think it was the right call.
And the way this game's been called, I'm shocked it wasn't. But you take it. 3rd and 7 at the 26. Big play coming up for the Sherman offense. Hands it off to Dawson Green, the big brawler, and he is wrapped up. Nowhere to go. The CB's defense, the front line stands tall. Among the CB's in there, Josh Wilson and a couple others in there. It'll be 4th and medium to go. Don't know if he even gained a yard there. It was wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage. 4th down and 7, no gain. So even bigger play incoming for the CB's. And this is where championship teams are made. Well, maybe not exactly, but big-time situation incoming. 8:37 to go and counting. Sherman has it, 4th and 7. Make or break here. Pauley's scrambling. He's got a runner after him. And he heaves it to the end zone, and Lester brings it down for the touchdown. There he is. Finally, he has been shut down all day long. And the X factor for the Sherman Tide steps up tall. And it's 8-6 with 8:24 to go.
I believe that was a 40-yard TD reception. This play here, though, is extremely crucial for Clay Batelle.
I don't think it was 40. I think it was 27. It was shorter than 40.
Was it 20? All right, I'll go 27 then.
Don't hold me to that, but we're not stats.
I lost where the spot of the ball was, and the chain crew was way too quick for me.
Yeah, he ran a lot. The line of scrimmage was a lot further forward. They're obviously going for 2, 8-6. Sherman trying to tie it. They've got a receiver on the left and one tight on the right. Fakes the handoff. Pauley's looking and throws it to no one. 8-6. That could be, and there's a flag on the far side. We'll see if it's going to be holding against the offense.
They're looking over at LePeau, decline. Yep, it's holding.
Okay. The holding penalty against Sherman is declined. 8-6 is your score now with 8:24 to go. Clay Batelle holds on, although its lead is narrowed. And this is playoff-style football in Blacksville. 8:24 to go. Clay Batelle will try to recuperate again after those points came off turnover. Again, 5 turnovers for the CBs today.
I feel like I was having flashbacks of, I believe it was Thursday Night Football last week when my Pittsburgh Steelers decided to know that Jamar Chase is the star player, but we're not going to stick anybody within 10 yards of him because he ain't making a play. And Lester made him pay for it. We've been waiting all night. all day. You know, I'm used to saying night because of Friday night. We've been waiting all day, and Lester finally steps up and gets that touchdown.
We knew it was going to happen, but the later this game carried on, we were like, maybe not. And there he was, Trey Lester making the difference and cutting this lead to 6 on the long ball touchdown after Corey Cohen's interception.
Both teams have scored on a really long play. Somebody's got to figure out a way here to probably make a play for the CBs, and I feel like we need to score again, so
absolutely.
I don't want to give it back to him. I definitely watched the onside kick here.
Yep, he's got the ball laid a weird way. Chase Southern, bit of a squib. It's picked up at the 25 and gets a block, a legal block at that, and out to the 38. Here comes the
Here
flag.
comes the flag from 45 yards away. Here comes another flag. I believe is at what Sherman's sideline. I mean, the mini post guy is pointing.
There's a third one. There were 3 flags out on there. Cody Clovis, brought it out to the 38, but we'll see because there was a lot of laundry on the field.
I'm saying there's 3 flags. If one of them's before the whistle and the other 2 are dead ball, that's 45 free yards. I just want to put that out there.
We'll see. Don't want to make any presumptions.
No,
here.
I don't either, but it would be nice. Oh, no, going back.
And there's the holding call.
We should have seen that one coming.
Let's see.
And then we got a dead ball personal foul, or was that sideline warning, it looks like, so they'll back it up.
So they only get a warning. Sherman only gets a warning, but it doesn't hurt them because it ends up backing CB up off the holding. Again, what can we get a penalty counter for both teams now?
I've got 10 for the CBs, and I think we are at, if you add the sideline warning, it will be 8 for Sherman.
Absolutely. I don't know if you would count that since it was just a warning. Regardless, 1st and 10 at the 29 for the CBs after the holding call on the return. Cohen on the keeper, wrapped up after a 2-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 8 on the keeper. You can hear Sherman from the other side of the field, and there's not even that many kids over there. I mean,
no, they are animated. The whole sideline is over there. They are up and at it. Their coaches are animated, and like I said, that fiery feeling can be good and it can be bad. It depends on how the game's going, and right now it's been to their advantage.
And the thing is, Clay Batelle is the exact opposite right now. That sideline is dead silent, and sometimes that cool and collected thing works. But sometimes you got to get a little bit of some fire. Here's the pitch out to the left side. Caleb Hall. Will there be a holding call this time? He barrels out to the 40-yard line. No flag this time.
Yeah, and just to put it out there, I brought it up earlier. That time was the time that the Sherman player threw his hands in the air. He wasn't even being blocked. Mm-hmm. He just threw his hands in the air, hoping the ref would see the hands go in the air and throw the flag. And he didn't get the call that time, thank goodness. Nice 7-yard run by Hall.
Yeah, that moved it up and be a fresh set of down, 7:20 and counting. Ball spotted at its own 40 for the CBs, leading 8-6 in a game with 2 really solid offenses. It's been a defensive slugfest. 1st and 10 now for the CBs. Receivers out. Handoff to Hall, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe picks up a yard more. And some late action. The crowd's not liking it. No flag thrown for the late action that Sherman players put on. 2nd and 9. Ball spotted at the 41-yard line. 6:39 and counting to go in a game where clock management becomes ever more crucial by the second. Clay Batelle has all 3 timeouts to work with. Sherman's already burned one, so those 2 timeouts, that might play an important factor later in this game.
LePeau jumped behind Coach Butch down there, gave some kind of hand signal the boys seen. Be interesting to see what that was.
Let's see what it is. Oh, try to get him to jump. Sherman did not fold. 3 seconds left on the play clock, and that's going to be a false start. Miscommunication on the line. Oh, man.
Shooting herself in the foot right now.
That'll make it 2nd and 14 for the CBs. 6:04 to go. 1 step forward, 3 steps back has been the name of the game for the Seabees since that early touchdown. An absolute chess match that has been marred by ill-advised play from both teams. Regardless, 6 minutes to go.
So the only positive for the CBs right now is that the clock keeps rolling because the last play before was a run. You run it back down, you've taken an extra minute off the clock.
Yep. Under 10 on the play clock. Here's the pitch out to Hall. Hall gets a block. Got to try not to hold, and he's driven backwards. Pauly on the stop. It's going to be 3rd and long once again as the play clock resets. 5:35 and counting. Still waiting on the play clock to get going. It's still at a full 40. And now it starts. It's at 36 and counting. This next play, if they draw it all the way down, will bring it under 4 minutes in the contest. Batelle nursing that 2-point lead. 3rd and 14 from its own 36-yard line. And chance this is, plays like this are what make or break a team.
Yep. If it's not there, just run it. Keep the clock moving.
And an empty backfield. Cohen rolling out on his opposite side. Throws off his opposite arm. He's got Poncerov, and it's overthrown. He had a chance. And Trey Lester was in coverage, but it just went out of bounds. Maybe not even the worst thing to happen, because if you throw that inbounds, Trey Lester might be there to make a play. It'll be 4th and 14. With 4:50 to go, the clock stops. And Sherman's going to get the ball back, only down 2. And with a kicker like that, that might be killer.
That is true. We do know that their kicker during
he was nailing them.
Pregame was nailing kicks if they even get close.
So here's the punt. Another decent one. Taken at the 35-yard line and returnable. And still falling. Here's a flag. This one might finally go against Sherman on a block in the back. He made it to midfield. We'll see.
Atkins fields the punt. We have a flag on the play.
Colby Atkins was the returner. 4:39 left on the clock, depending on the flag. It's a face mask against. Who they called against? No. Yep, it went against Clay Batelle. So that moves it up even more. And Sherman will start this drive in Clay Batelle territory at the 46-yard line with 4:39 to go, trailing by 2.
They've got to score on you to beat you, boys.
So let's see if that Clay Batelle defense can step up again. Here's a snap to Pauly. And falling forward is Levi Sprouse. Takes it for a couple, and the clock continues to roll. You have to take the mentality, I'm thinking, that Clay Batelle has to have the mentality that they're not going to get the ball back. They just can't allow points.
Yes,
period.
I agree.
Because the way this is going, yeah, I don't know if they're going to get the ball back.
And it's 4-down territory no matter what for Sherman.
Unless they're in kicking distance. But, yes, in this set of downs, yes, I totally agree. So split backfield. Here goes Lester. Lester making a move and falls down toward the first down marker. He might be there. He's going to be a yard short. Be 3rd and 1, 3:50 and counting to go. I'm going to give as many time updates as I can. As in a game like this, you need it. So grab your Tums, as my dad likes to say in a tight game. Grab the Tums. Should have brought some with me. 3:30 and counting to go. 3rd and 1. They sniffed it out, and that's going to be a first down and more. Oh, and the ball might be out. Oh, what's it going to be? What's it going to be? What's it going to be? And it's going to be a first down for Sherman. Looked like it might have fallen out, but
it did fall out because even the ref jumped down in the pile, but they were able to come up with it.
Oh, what could have been a game killer.
There was no doubt in my mind looking at how we defended that. We held him up. Somebody came in trying to punch the ball out, and they did. They just weren't able to get on top of it.
3:13 and counting. 1st and 10 for Sherman at the 30-yard line. Trailing by 2 against Clay Batelle. Between two 6-1 teams. And, man, for the first ever, to my knowledge, the first ever matchup between these two programs has lived up to the hype. With everything on the line, split backfield, one receiver to the right. Here goes Lester, and he's wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. He might have fallen forward for a yard, but Ponserov was in on the tackle.
And right to the line of scrimmage is where they mark it, and we're 2:43 and clicking at this point in time. 2nd down and 10 coming up here, 2:35.
I'm telling you, I know it's high school and it's Class A ball. You do not want to give up many more yards for this kicker. I'm not trying to jinx him. Maybe you are. I don't know. I'm just calling it down the line. If you're Clay Batelle, you do not want to let Sherman gain much more ground. 2:15 and counting. Pauly takes the snap. He's looking, and he has a chance to get sacked. And he's got a lot of wide open room to the 15 and all the way down inside the 10-yard line. Thought they had him in the backfield, and he rushed forward.
Yep.
He had a wide open hole. 2:06 to go, 1st and 10.
Now's where you're talking about comes much more crucial. They will kick on 4th down if it gets there. You may need to cause a turnover here.
Yeah, all eyes and ears on Blacksville right now, 8-6. Clay Batelle leads it, but Sherman, with 2 timeouts and 2:06 on the clock, trails only by 2. A field goal can win it. Well, a field goal can give you the lead, I should say. If they score too quick, Clay Batelle has a chance. But the way the offense is managed, next score wins. So here we go, and timeout taken. Who called it? And Clay Batelle burns one. That could be a factor in this late game. But LePeau did not like something he saw. Man, what a knockdown, drag-out match between these two squads. And Chance, if you're Aaron LePeau, what are you telling your kids out of this? You've only allowed 6 points, and it came late in the second half. What do you tell?
Somebody make a play, and whatever you do, do not let Lester just get in the open. Like, you've got to have him covered. If somebody else beats you, it's heartbreaking, but I feel like you still got to take Lester out of the game right here. And they love to run a drag pattern in filmed where they line them up over on the left with another receiver. They both come up and then come directly across underneath the goalpost. And I think you need to tell your middle linebackers, be prepared for that if it's a pass, maybe just drop back straight in the middle of the field and wait for that to come to you and make a play on it.
A lot to unpack here as the huddles break. It's going to be 1st and goal from the 8-yard line officially. Both teams have 2 timeouts. Clay Batelle leads 8-6 with 2:06 to go. Sherman threatening. The crowd trying to get into it. You hear more Sherman than Clay Batelle fans right now because I'm telling you what, Sherman fans will come unglued if they take a lead here. 1st and goal. Pauly takes the snap, steps forward, hands it off. And he's barreling all the way down, and he might be in. He's right at the goal line.
I would rather him called the touchdown instead of that because there's no way that they don't score.
Yeah, Levi Sprouse managed to get all the way down, and there's an injured player of the Tide hanging out around the 5-yard line. But again, maybe that touchdown helps. You look back to that, you want to talk about that Thursday night Steelers-Bengals game. T. Higgins made the smart move of sliding when he had a wide-open touchdown.
Yep, and that's one of them when you look back at it. If Pat Freiermuth would have done the same thing at the other end, they wouldn't have had a chance to go down and score.
It's all about coaching.
You know, I'll be honest, I thought he crossed the goal line, but they're going to give it to him at the 6-inch line, and we know they got a kicker. So if you are Sherman at this point in time, you could almost kneel if you wanted to. I wouldn't, I don't think. But
not in Class A high school ball. I don't care how good your kicker is. I don't trust kickers in high school whatsoever.
Yeah, you got to worry about the block and all that. But
yeah, I think
I could see on this play here, it is 2nd down. I was going to say you could quarterback sneak it and tell your quarterback to just kind of stay where you're at. You know what I mean? Get the play and run the clock off. like we're going to try to score on third or fourth.
And I'll tell you what, as the member of the Tide gets up, we'll see who it is. Injured player number 69, Luke Elkins, senior, walking off with some assistance.
It's your starting left tackle right now.
And he's created some good moments for this offensive line. That might be a crucial moment. But to reset the scene again, you can never do it too much in a game like this. 1:49 to go, 2nd and goal for the Tide, trailing by 2 in the middle of Blacksville. Perfect day for football. Will it be the perfect ending for Clay Batelle? Only time will tell. We're a little over 2 hours into this contest. And the clock rolls again, so something to take note of. Pauling the shotgun with that bruiser back to his left. Green to his left, 2 receivers out to the left. And they wind the clock all the way down. High snap, hand off, and he walks in. That's a touchdown for Sherman, number 40, Dawson Green, who has come alive in this second half. Makes it 12-8 in favor of Sherman with 1:28 to go. Got to think they'll be going for 2. And they will be based on the way they're lining up here. It would make it a 6-point game. There's no reason not to go for the 2-point conversion. This could be a huge game, this could be a huge play, especially if Clay Batelle can work their way down the field. They will have 2 timeouts to work with when they get back over there. And a timeout is taken by Sherman.
Timeout, Sherman.
Hey, you will have a minute and a half. It's heartbreaking right now, but we've seen Clovis hit for 57 yards. You done it. Just the hard part is, they've got the athletes in that secondary. They've already picked off Corey twice. I mean, you're going to
not been more.
No, they picked off twice. He's fumbled.
Three
He's fumbled
times,
twice.
or twice. And then who was the 5th fumble? There's been 5 total turnovers.
Let's see. I got an interception, fumble. Oh, that's Sherman's side. My bad. Let me go to Clay Batelle.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Yeah, Corey's had a rough day, and that's okay. I mean, they're kids.
I just heard 3 fumbles, 3 interceptions. Actually, I got 2 fumbles, 3 interceptions.
Yeah, that's what I've got. I've got
2 fumbles, 3 interceptions.
5 total turnovers for the Seabees in a game such as this does not bode well. The fact they're now only down by 4, really, if anything, shows you a lot about the resolve of this team. But pick your moral victories where you will. These are 2 6-1 teams with heavy playoff aspirations on the Class A level. 12-8 is your score in favor of the visiting Sherman Tide, with a choir of cowbells over to my right. We'll see. You have that bruiser back Green next to him who scored the touchdown. Pauly ready for the snap. Same formation. Fakes the handoff. And he's got his man. Is he going to get there? And he got there. That's going to be in.
No, that's the right call.
That is the right call. He reached out, and that 2-point conversion is successful. 14-8 your score now by Sherman. However, it's not the end of the world, but the 2-point conversion makes it to where you have to score a touchdown, but you can win. But you can win on the extra point.
Yes.
If they didn't get that, all you would have had to do is score the touchdown and the game's over. Regardless, still some work to be done for Clay Batelle, who led 8-0 at the half, has given up 14 consecutive points late in this game. It's now 14-8 in favor of the Sherman Tide, is ranked number 3 in the SSAC rankings. Clay Batelle at number 6. These are 2, I'd argue, as even of a team matchup as you're going to get. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if you see these 2 teams play again, depending on where the rankings lie at the end of the season.
Yeah, and if the game ends like this, it's probably going to be played in Sherman. And you got to make the 3-hour trip and 4-hour trip at that point in time down to there.
Mm-hmm.
But still a minute 28 left to go. The boys just got to keep their head in the game. If you're Corey, you've turned it over 5 times, but you get an opportunity to still win this game.
And it's bobbled. Here it goes. Here comes the return, and it's taken out to about the 29-yard line. Perfect coverage from the Sherman Tide. So a decently long field. There's another member of the Tide slow to get up on the kickoff return. That was Clovis on the return. There will be a official timeout for an injured member of the Tide.
Yeah, nice play by Sprouse there. Got down there, made a nice tackle.
Looks like he might be cramped up, the injured Tide player.
But I will tell you this, you got one of the best single-A receivers in Braden Ponceroff in Class A right here on your team. You just got to find a way to either get him involved or hope they put 2 on him, and you find Corey Clovis or you find Huggins again to make a play. This is not over at any means, and if you know, run everybody deep, maybe run Caleb Hall off to the side there, see if they just forget about him for a moment. You hit him, pick up 20 yards on a little pass play to your tailback that nobody's expecting. Next thing you know, you're sitting at the 50. Still a minute to go with a timeout.
A lot on the line in Blacksville right now in front of a full crowd at the home of the Clay Batelle Seabees. And Corey Cohen will go back to work after his turnover-ridden day, but still a lot to be proud of on this Seabees team if you're a fan. Still not over. Down by 6 with 1:23 to go and 2 timeouts, and there's a flag. What is it this time?
I'm sure it's a false start on us at this point in time.
12 men.
Yep, 12 men coming off the sideline. You just can't have
How do
those
you
type
get
of
12?
penalties.
I don't know how you make the mistake of 12 men on the field on offense. That's a defensive thing. Like, if you have too many men on, so be it. Defensively, you don't have them in time. But on offense, you run the clock. You should know to not have 12. Regardless, it's 1st and 15 from the 25 now after setting themselves back. Cohen takes the snap with the receivers wide and an empty backfield. He's going downfield. He's got his man. And there he goes. He's off to the races. Oh, my gosh, could he go all the way? He does! Oh, touchdown! CB's! Touchdown! Yeah! What a touchdown that is. Santa Fe, Cody Clovis.
Santa Fe Clovis with a 75-yard touchdown play.
Holy cow. 75 yards. Wow. It is now a tie game. Now, I don't want to burst anyone's bubble. They scored too quick. That's going to give chance for Sherman to get the ball back, but in the meantime, CB's fans, you can celebrate.
You have to score to at least tie the game. You've tied the game, but now you just got to play defense again.
The reason I'm okay with this is the way the offense has struggled. If you see an opportunity like this, take it. Any other time you're trailing, take it.
I'll be honest with you. I think all they really wanted was the 20 yards.
Yeah,
and when their defender
busted
slipped,
coverage. Yep.
He just went with it.
Oh, my gosh, what a turn in the Tide. Literally, 1:09 to go. Clay Batelle's lining up for the 2-point conversion, tied at 14. And the clock has finally stopped. Aaron LaPlo takes the timeout. That's the second timeout of the game for Clay Batelle. And fans are on their feet. This game has turned around so many times in this fourth quarter and in the second half as a whole. My goodness, it has lived up to the billing, folks.
It has. I'm so excited. I'll be honest, Jonathan. I have not updated the stat sheet after that play. I'm trying my best to do it right now. I know I interrupted you on that, but I couldn't help but to scream touchdown on that. I seen it, and
I was going to let you have it.
Thank you.
I was holding off because I'm not even trying to be biased. I was expecting a penalty somewhere. I was expecting in the secondary. I was expecting something to happen.
Yeah,
he was too wide open. I was like,
there was 3 guys chasing him and no CBs around, but I was pretty sure there was a block in the back coming somewhere. Back here at the 20 by an offensive lineman.
Oh man, what a game! If you're tuned in. What a time.
I mean, I know, Corey's had a rough game, but that was a big play.
Oh, he needed that.
And I do think at this point in time, if I'm Aaron LaPoe, Corey is who I let have the ball here. I stack up people in front of him, and I let the hit stick drive it in there because stopping him short, it's going to take somebody coming through the line and hitting him in the backfield, I believe, to stop him. It's been our go-to two-point play. It really has. So Sherman's probably looking for it. But very few teams have been able to stop it. Let's find out if they are. If nothing else, you've got 1:09. You got a tied ball game going on here.
I'm shocked they're not taking the extra point here, unless they are.
We've been very inconsistent.
Yeah, but
at
so is the
extra
2 point. So is the 2 point. So again, tie game, 1:09 to go. Cohen lined up in the backfield. He's got Poncerov to his right, and here's the pitch to Hall. Hall's going to run. He's got one man to beat. Is he going to get there? He gets in. He's in. Caleb Hall finds the edge and gets past Trey Lester and company. and it's now 16-12. Clay Batelle taking the lead. Wow, what a change in momentum yet again. It's been back and forth.
If you aren't live in Blacksville right now, if you're listening to us, thanks for listening, but man, in person, you've missed something special.
I'm so sorry, Ethan. I am so sorry that I've taken your spot today. I hope you're enjoying this.
He is sorry, but he is enjoying every moment.
I'm enjoying it. Absolutely.
He is enjoying every moment of this.
I haven't been able to call any kind of play-by-play since late August, and that was all the way out in Ohio. So to have a game like this, man, it makes the wait worth it. And man, again,
you got to play defense.
This game's not over.
They have one timeout left, and they have one of the most exciting players on their offense.
Who burned you? Who finally burned you?
He burned you, and once again, I don't know how we lost track of him, but we did, and it only has to happen a second time for these cheers that we have right now to turn into heartbreak.
Line of the game there from Chance Collins. Ponserov will line up to kick the ball, leading 16-14, 1:09 to go in Blacksville. Here we go. A deep kick all the way to the 10. Nice kickoff from Ponserov. Lester's the man with the ball in his hands. He's got blockers. And he's all the way out to the 40 before he gets trucked. They're going to have good field position to start out. He makes it out to the 41-yard line where the Sherman Tide offense will take over, down by 2 with 1:01 to go. Oh, man.
1:01. Got the ball at the 41-yard line.
Hey, you know what? Refill those Tums. I talked about Tums earlier. Refill them.
I believe you've had Cooper Payton and Colt Sandy have had so many blocking in the back penalties on them. Now's when you make up for it.
Yep.
You go get that quarterback in that backfield and put him down.
All right. You got stacked receivers to the left. Pauly looking. He's got a scramble. He's got a runner on his tail. And he throws it in the direction of Trey Lester, and it's incomplete. It was short. Colt Sandy, you were talking about it. The Sandman comes up and tries to force the pressure. He was chasing him down for at least 10 yards.
And if it wasn't for that pressure, we may have had a completed pass because Lester was coming straight across the field. He wouldn't have scored. We had players close to him, but he was available to have the pass completed to him.
It makes it 53.3 seconds to go. Second and 10 at the 41-yard line. Pauly looking. And he's got pressure, and it's intercepted! It's intercepted! That's the dagger! Put in the coffin nails at the 30-yard line! Oh!
Plug and play, Josh Wilson hit Pauly. The ball comes out forward, but Cameron Mercer's there to catch it before it hits the ground. First down CBs with 46.2 seconds left to go here in the fourth quarter. I'm going first quarter. I don't know if my heart could take 3 more quarters of this.
Oh my gosh, and Sherman can only stop the clock one more time. All you got to do is take a knee. 46.2 seconds to go. Clay Batelle leads 16-14. Man, oh man, this might be the Class A game of the year. Oh, wow.
Josh Wilson has been so close so many times, and to see him get to make that play, amazing.
Well, Cohen takes the knee. I've only got to do it one more time. Let's see if he stops the clock. Yeah, they're going to have to take one more knee. But wow. 33 seconds and counting. They're going to reconvene. Going to have to snap it one more time if they're not even going to have to do it.
They're waving it off.
They're waving it off. That's the ball game, folks. They're going to line up and shake hands in just a second. 15 seconds and counting. Start that handshake line. As the seconds tick away, we'll wait for official confirmation for it to be a win. But as it stands with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's a Clay Batelle win as the time ticks away. Zeros on the scoreboard, 16-14. Clay Batelle wins it over the Sherman Tide. Chance, any thoughts before we go to the postgame?
Unbelievable play by Josh Wilson there late. Cameron Mercer coming up with the pick. Clovis with the catch right before that. The adrenaline right now is running through me like I look like the Ultimate Warrior up here in the thing. Like I'm just shaking my hands. Like you can't write this up any more of a storybook winning for Aaron LePeau in this matchup. And this is the type of thing right here. I'm going to go ahead and put it on. You can lose to Oak Glen next week. As long as you beat Magnolia, you will host a playoff game here in Clay Batelle. But there's no reason you can't go beat Oak Glen and have 2 games. That's how big this game was. You could be at home until the semis play in to go to Charleston.
And with a Saturday afternoon crowd like this, a completely full grandstand, imagine that in the playoffs. That's what you want. As Aaron Lepeau and the gang gets it done despite 5 turnovers, ends up on the winning end of one of the best games I think I've ever watched at the high school level. 16-14 your final score. Clay Batelle wins it. We'll have the post game coming up right after this.
Every community grows stronger when neighbors help neighbors. That's what First Exchange Bank is all about, supporting local families, small businesses, and the dreams that help keep our towns moving forward. We're your local community bank, rooted here, growing here, and proud to serve here. First Exchange Bank. Online at firstexchangebank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 579178.
College isn't for everyone, and that's okay. There's another way to build a life right here. The energy industry offers real pay, $25 an hour to start. They'll get full training, certifications, and a path to grow. It's not a short-term job. It's a career. The dream doesn't live in a dorm. It lives in hard work. And the energy industry is hiring. DPS Land Services. Learn more at dpslandservices.com.
Z-Bart is your local expert for automotive appearance and protection. If you're concerned about rust and have a used vehicle, you need to know it's not too late. Z-Bart Rust Eliminator is a 3-step process. First, we pressure wash the underside of your vehicle and inspect. Next, we spray on the Rust Eliminator chemical. Then, we apply the patented Z-Bart undercoating. Add years of life to your vehicle. Learn more at zbart.com. Z-Bart of Morgantown, I-68 Exit 7.
This is the WHAR post-game show, presented by the Insurance Centers, where serving you is our best policy.
And we welcome you to the post-game show brought to you by Z-Bart of Morgantown. Z-Bart, the post-game wrap-up. Z-Bart of Morgantown, here to restore your vehicle's original showroom beauty and shine from the inside out. Fort Pierpont Center, Morgantown, or search Z-Bart of Morgantown online. And now that I've got that out of the way, the Clay Batelle Seabees just pulled out one of the gutsiest wins I've seen at the high school level in a long time. I'm Johnathan Edwards, who got to serve as play-by-play. I am so sorry, Ethan, you couldn't be here today. I will see you later at Milan Pushkar. In the meantime, joined by Chance Collins. I can only imagine what you're going through right now. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Fix your stats. But 16-14 your final. And we'll talk about this for a second while you compile some stats. It was 8-0 at halftime. Clay Batelle led 8-0 off a 57-yard touchdown pass from Corey Cohen to – who caught that one?
Clovis.
Yes. Santa Fe, Cody Clovis, came up with that 57-yard reception. Sorry, we're stumbling over words here. That was nuts. 16-14, but again, back it up. It was 0-0 for a long time. Cohen caught Clovis on the 57-yarder, and Clovis absolutely mossed Trey Lester, which we'll talk about him because, man, he was shut down for a long time in the game, but he came up clutch for Sherman until it didn't matter. In the meantime, it was 8-0 at halftime. You come out, and Sherman rattles off 14 unanswered, thanks largely in part 5 total turnovers from the Seabees today. Again, it was an ugly game, but again, that adds to what we said in the open. We said in the pregame. We said throughout the game. It felt like a playoff game. And, man, the only thing that felt different is you're not on a neutral site. You're right here, and that could be the scene. Now that you have this win, that might be the scene for the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. But, again, as it all ended, it looked like all was lost for the Seabees. You throw that final interception, and Sherman scores with a minute left, or a minute 20 left, and CB gets the ball back with a minute 15 left. You set it up, and how long was that final one? I know it was 75
yards.
75 yards.
75 yards.
So here's the crazy thing is that they had it 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line, and then they get called for a false start in a game that was marred by penalties on both sides. This isn't a knock on the officials. They did their job, but, man, they called it tight. They really called it tight. There was zero room for error, and it was a lot of procedure penalties. It was a lot of holdings, blocking the back, what have you. And it looked like it was going to burn Clay Batelle once again for the final time, and it backed it up 1st and 15. Now at the 25, you have a little over a minute to work with. You find it 70-some yards, 75 yards to be exact. Corey Cohen gets his redemption. He had a full redemption arc through this game. I can only imagine what went through his head. He had that 57-yard bomb to Clovis, and then you turn around, and then you just have turnover and turnover and turnover and turnover, and it looked like all was lost, and you get that 75-yarder to Clovis again, and, you're the hero. So I can only imagine. There's a lot to work on with Clay Batelle, and I'll let you get in here in a second. But, man, for the moment, in the game of the year, especially at this point in the season with the most implications, Clay Batelle got it done and came away with the 16-14 win. Chance?
Yeah, me and Ethan have talked all season about Corey and the fact that it's the next play. It's the next play. Don't worry about the play before it. Don't worry about the play before it. And he played that way today. Like, he made mistakes, but he was always out there ready to make the next play. Very easily, after the stats I'll read here in a minute, he could have given up, but he didn't. He had 1 minute and 28 seconds left on that clock, and he went and helped his boys win their game. Here's the stats for today that I have down. I've got Cody Clovis, 2 catches, 127 yards and 2 TDs. He had a 75 and a 57-yard touchdown. You've got Corey. He's 5 of 11, 164 yards and 2 TDs, 12 rushes for 88 yards. The bad part, 2 fumbles and 3 INTs. But you know what? You wipe them off the stat sheet to a certain extent because you end up bringing the game home. On the ground, you've got Caleb Hall, 12 carries, 64 yards. Over to the Sherman side, you've got Sprouse, 15 carries, 77 yards. You've got their quarterback, Pauly, 3 of 13 for 77 yards and a TD. I mean, pretty well that makes him like 2 of 12 for like around 25 yards or whatever. My math ain't clicking right now.
Doesn't matter.
2 of 12 of 25, besides the one big play to Lester there towards, no, that was in the third quarter.
Yeah.
Total yards is the stat that I just figured up, and that is Sherman had 230 total yards. They had 130 in the second half. That was better than their 99, I believe, in the first half. But when you come to the CBs, 353 total yards. I'll be honest, the CBs dominated this game.
They really did.
From beginning to end, the penalties kept getting to them, and the penalties kept getting to them. And it's just one of them things, like there was times I felt like they were trying to keep the game close. The Zebras were. I know they're not, but it's how it felt. You know what I mean? Like you would start to get a roll, and then we would commit a penalty of a block in the back or something. It just felt like we were doing it, and it just, the adversity, all 22 players out on that field at one time, including your sideline and coaches, the adversity to fight through 12 penalties, 2 fumbles, 3 interceptions, and the fact is you walk out of here with a win, 16-14. You can look at the boys and go, you know what, boys, it wasn't pretty. It was ugly as it can be.
But that's how the playoffs are going to be.
But it's almost like the Mona Lisa. It's the most famous painting in the world, and to me, I feel like a 3-year-old could paint it. But for some reason, it's the most famous painting in the world. And that's what we've done. We painted the Mona Lisa today, 16-14. You now hold your destiny. Win out. You're going to host 2 playoff games here at Clay Batelle. One of the 2, you're probably at least hosting 1 here, which is crucial. It would be awesome for this community to get a chance to host even 1. If you can find a way to get it to host 2, and I'll tell you what, if these boys ain't fired up come next Friday night versus Oak Glen after winning this game, something wrong.